Gives it a little depth perception there. I love that.
So this will be available with New Life Art.
Exactly. Once I finish the painting.
Right.
Yeah, and that's going to take a couple of months. So
okay.
People have learned to be patient with me.
That's right.
As I'm patient with my painting, right?
Right.
So
so New Life Art, one of our favorites, Daniel A. Moore. And 4th and 31 is going to be available very soon, featuring Jalen Milroe and Isaiah Bond in that iconic Iron Bowl play, 4th and 31, the Gravedigger play.
And usually, you get some signings that happen along the way too. And I've always enjoyed being able, when I've got my Daniel A. Moore prints, to go chase down people that are in the prints and
that's cool.
Get those autographs too. That always helps a little bit.
Absolutely.
So stay up to date on that. We can still get these two as well. You can buy the Legacy Continues.
That's right
there on the website that we tell you about all the time. And hopefully you get ready to paint something else.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready and willing.
Have brush will travel.
Coach, yes, have brush will travel. You got it right.
What do you do? We've got a couple minutes left. What do you do with this? Do you save those for your own keeping, like the original, like that?
Actually, I have a collector that's been collecting the sketches.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because that's so cool. That is the genesis of it,
Yeah, and sometimes we have an offer for the print itself,
the original
like a sketch print.
Yeah.
No, a reproduction.
Gotcha.
Of it. Yeah. But I sell the originals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
NewLifeArt.com. NewLifeArt.com is where you could keep posted on this. And can they go ahead and pre-order? Oh, DanielMooreArt.com. I'm sorry. DanielMooreArt.com. DanielMooreArt.com. Go ahead and pre-order, right? And you can go ahead and tell people for Christmas, this is what I got you.
That's
and
it.
In a couple months, you're going to have it in your hands. DanielMooreArt.com.
Yep.
With New Life Art. It's beautiful. Great work as always.
Do you have a total?
Thank you.
Like how many you've done over the years? No, not a running total.
150 some odd.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, is what I've been told. I don't keep a track of it, but Jeff does my tracking, and he counted them up. I think it's 158 or something like that.
Wow.
Crazy.
Could be
busy man.
Could be interesting if somebody paints Daniel A. Moore painting one of his paintings and puts like 153 in there as a little works that in there too.
Easter egg.
Yeah, it works really
Well, it's
good.
beautiful. Thank you for coming in and showing it, everyone.
Yeah, well, I mean,
thank you, Jim, for having me.
Always good to see you.
It is something Alabama fans, when big plays happen, they always say, I wonder if Daniel A. Moore is going to paint that one. I wonder if that was instantly what people were saying. There's another painting for Daniel A. Moore as we were leaving the field at Jordan-Hare Stadium.
The answer is yes.
Yeah. Almost always yes. All right, DanielMooreArt.com. DanielMooreArt.com to see that. And maybe go ahead and pre-order for a great Christmas gift. As always, great to see you. Thank you, sir.
That is fantastic, man.
All
we
right,
appreciate
Jim.
you so much.
Thank you
so much. And thanks, everybody, for being with us. We're back with you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Central Time. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Amen.
The Next Round Golf Cart is back and is presented by Urology Centers of Alabama. For $89, play Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the renovated Woodward Golf Club. $247 in value for just $89. Or get bonus gifts with the Deluxe Golf Cart for $119. No restrictions, good through September of 2024, but supplies are limited. Buy right now at nextround.store.
The Next Round is so much more than the show you get from 9 to 1 each day. So make sure to head to our official YouTube channel at Next Round Live and subscribe to get all of our latest content. We, of course, have plenty of specialty content and shorts based all around the sports in the heart of the SEC. But we also talk pro sports, gambling, lifestyle and entertainment, and so much more. It's the Next Round YouTube channel where you never know what you're going to find next. Subscribe now to see the latest content and get notifications when we go live. That's at Next Round Live on YouTube.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Is it starting to set in yet that tomorrow night we'll be in Huntsville doing something we've never, ever done before?
Yeah. I was thinking about it this morning.
Anybody nervous about it?
Actually, I had a dream about it last night, believe it or not. I had a dream about us doing, now that you mentioned that, you know how like you have a dream and you don't remember it until somebody mentions something? I dreamt about that.
Well, let's, was it a good outcome? Was it a nightmare?
Actually, it was. I don't want to go into great detail here, but I will tell you guys in the break. I had a dream about the way it all played out, and it actually went well for us.
Okay, was I doing play-by-play, or were you doing play-by-play?
Well, I thought we had decided I was.
Okay, that's all I needed to know. I mean, the roles are very limited right now.
Yeah.
I know.
What do you mean?
Yeah, I mean, I really don't know much. I was asking Dunaway this morning.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think there's going to be traditional play-by-play. It's going to be more of a traffic cop.
Yeah, I mean, if they want us to do an actual Manning cast-like broadcast, there really is no play-by-play.
If you don't know what's happening, tomorrow night, UNC Asheville, NCAA tournament team last year, Bruce Pearl and Auburn, NCAA tournament team, playing basketball at the Von Braun Arena up in Huntsville. Huntsville Sports Commission said, hey, we want to do something different on the broadcast. Why don't we let the Next Round guys go up there and broadcast this game Manning style? So we're going to be up there, the three of us. Emily Grace will be our sideline reporter, I guess, analyst from the sidelines. And we're going to try to do this. But I will say this several times before we go up there tomorrow. If you're expecting a traditional broadcast as an Auburn fan and you're watching that game, it's not going to be exactly like you see when the normal folks, when the Tom Harts of the world are doing it. It's going to be us, and
it's going to be far more entertaining than that.
A lot of split screens.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess technically if you want serious basketball, you could turn us down and put on the Auburn broadcast, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you get that, but you get that every game of the year. Why would you want to do that?
They do a great job. We, in all fairness to our friends from UNC Asheville, who may be listening today, we hope Auburn's up 30 early.
Could be, man. UNC Asheville 5-6 this year.
Tournament team last year, not trending that way this year.
Yeah, so hopefully Auburn out to a 30-2 lead, so we can kick off our shoes and have a little fun tomorrow night.
Yeah. No, I plan on having fun. If I'm the only one that has fun, or if the three of us are the only ones that have fun, or the four
we
of
always
us.
have fun.
Yeah, that's all that I care about.
But
Look,
I will tell you, always, 100% every time, I'm going to be nervous about it until it's over.
One thing.
You can count on it.
If I have learned nothing else in my pursuit of this career, if I have learned nothing else, you're never going to make everybody happy. No matter what we do on this show, you're never going to make everybody happy.
And we will make that come true tomorrow night.
So you know what I do? I just go do it the way I enjoy doing it. And if enough people are happy, we'll be fine. If enough people bitch about it, they'll never ask us to do it again. And you know what? My life will go on just fine.
I'm going to attack this like this is the only chance we get to do it. So
I'm going to assume it probably is.
I'm going to have fun doing it, and I'm going to enjoy it. And if they never ask us to do it again.
Will you do me a favor?
I
and
will.
Text Peter Burns and find out who's the studio group at the SEC Network tomorrow night, because at some point they'll be doing the highlights from our broadcast.
Oh, yeah.
And I need to know who's going to be chopping us off at the knees. I need to know.
What happened?
Damian Fishbag.
Yeah, I need to know if Alyssa Lang is going to be setting up the shooter to hit us over the head.
Who are these jokers?
Hit us over the head.
Was this a preseason game?
Great dunk there. Too bad it was squeezed back in a 5-box.
Oh, don't get me started on that. Last night, I was so furious during that game last night.
Old man Brown on Twitter last night.
Why? Because they kept going back and forth.
Yeah. Oh, let's get into it.
Look, you do have options to flip back and forth, right?
Let's get into it. Brought to you today by our friends at Legacy. Our old man rant of the day from old man Brown on Twitter. Brought to you by our friends at Legacy. Never gets old. The great savings you get at Legacy. Credit cards. I mean, so safe. I mean, anybody on the desk had their identity stolen this week?
Not this week.
Yep. Me.
Within 7 days, I think.
Me and LT, we've been
I've
hacked.
had it before, though. It ain't fun.
We've been hacked. Credit cards, they give you such security, right? You can go back and deny those payments because it's not you in Dubai buying shoes. They can say, hey, I'm in Birmingham. I'm not buying shoes in the Middle East. Something's gone wrong here. You get great rates, too, with our friends at Legacy. 8.9% APR, no annual fees, no balance transfer fees. It makes shopping safe and convenient this holiday season. And, hey, and personal loans, too. Maybe you got holiday travel or some Christmas presents, that one specific gift that you've got to have right now. They got affordable payback plans. See everything and apply in minutes for both the credit cards and the personal loans online. LegacyCreditUnion.com. LegacyCreditUnion.com. Federally insured by the NCUA. Before you get to Old Man Twitter, Brown, I just want to throw out this stat. Make sure I get this right. 767 straight NFL games.
Yeah.
That's the number.
Yeah.
767 straight NFL games.
I saw that in the squeezed down box when they were showing it, Jeff.
Of a team with a 14-point lead in the final 3 minutes of the contest.
Yeah.
767 straight wins until the Dolphins lose last night. And I couldn't go to sleep till 2:30. Part of it was personal grief that I said on our Monday night show with our friends at Bud Light. I said it on the show yesterday.
You did. I'm well aware.
Let's go ahead and count this as a win for the Dolphins, and let's rank the top 5, 10, and 3 teams.
Oh, no.
Oh, yeah, we did it twice.
So we did it last night, but you didn't tell me that you had gone on and said that. Hey, let's just go on and pencil them in.
Twice. I even said it last night.
He said it last night.
Okay.
Twice.
I heard it twice.
So something happens on the way to penciling things in, Brownie. It didn't go well.
I mean, look, aside from ESPN butchering this, Miami Dolphins butchered this to begin with.
Throwing stones right before we do a basketball broadcast.
Well, I mean, they need to be better. Aside from ESPN absolutely butchering this deal, the Dolphins butchered it, okay? We deserve to lose the football game. We lost to a better team. I cannot believe Mike McDaniel let Mike Vrabel outcoach him. I cannot believe Tua Tagovailoa let Will Levis outplay him. Tyreek Hill was injured, so I'm not going to say I can't believe Tyreek Hill let DeAndre Hopkins outplay him.
It seems like you're
speaking
to your guys at a Wednesday practice now trying to motivate them.
I can't believe Frank Thomas and Mike McDaniel and all those coaches and Vic Fangio allowed whoever the Tennessee Titans offensive coordinator is. They've already fired one guy this year. This is a new guy. Outcoach them. I can't believe that. I couldn't believe what I was watching.
Well, I couldn't believe Vic Fangio's defense because, you put up that number 776. I don't know what the percentages are of winning a game. It ain't good. And the first time since 1976 this has happened, and it was Will Levis.
Will Levis.
Because you saw him on that
freaking Joe Montana.
You saw him on his first possession. What did Will Levis do?
Awful. You saw the screen pass he threw to Zach Sealer.
Yeah.
I mean, just a terrible throw.
And I was like, man, this is going to be a bloodbath.
Yeah, almost gave it to him again on a little shuttle pass. Almost shuttled it right to a blitzing defensive end.
Just so many mistakes, and then so many incredibly confident throws.
I swear you guys have been involved in some of the most incredible Monday night games. Go back to that Jets game.
Until last night, that was maybe the worst collapse in Miami history.
Yes.
I would tell you, he dropped a pass, did Will Levis, between 4 defenders one time. That was on a rope. It was one of the best throws I've seen all year in the National Football League.
Obviously he's got the physical tools. One of the reasons that people projected he would be a top 10 guy ultimately went in the second round.
It was insane. Gutsy win from them,
But they handed Miami 14 points right there. They just handed them.
Yeah, but how are the Titans -2 in turnovers with 9 penalties, go on the road, down 14, and win that game?
You tell me.
Yeah.
I'd love to know.
Well, it's December in Miami, Brown. Didn't this happen last year to you guys?
It did. Now Tua got hurt last year, though. That's what you
guys
forget.
were 8. You guys were 8-3 and lost 5 straight.
Well, yeah. Again, Tua got hurt.
Yeah.
Well, look, it was a disaster last night as far as the loss because now you're a full game back.
Here's old man
Baltimore.
Brown.
But it could have been really disastrous if Tyreek. He said he ultimately thought he snapped his ankle.
Okay, walk us through the tweets here. Get cut one ready, Rockstar, too. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, ESPN had 2 Monday Night Football games last night. I don't know if you guys were aware of that. We had the Giants at the Packers.
I put mine in their double box.
Packers ESPN did too. Packers at the Giants. And Miami playing host to Tennessee. So when you have 2 Monday night games, my assumption is, now you guys are not a Dolphins fan. You're going to pick to watch the one you want to watch, right?
Yep.
I got 2 choices.
I chose both.
I've either got 2 TVs, I could go split box, or I'm just going to watch the one I really want to watch, right?
Mm-hmm.
So ESPN said, no, we're not going to let you do that. We're going to force the other one on you, too. Now, here's what's crazy about this. Because I've got them both on. Like, I'm in my basement with a bunch of Titans fans. Huge mistake by me last night. I don't know.
Oh, really?
Yes. Oh, I had 3 Titans fans.
Oh, no.
They wanted to come over and watch the game, and I'm like, we're going to win this game.
I would have said no.
Is one a mush? One a mush?
So I am in my basement watching this. So I've got all the games on, right? And ESPN keeps squeezing down the Dolphins game to show me the Giants-Packers game. The game, by the way, that is on ABC, which means anybody that owns a television, all you have to do is buy a TV and you can get that game. That's it.
That's right.
TV and antenna, you got that game. You don't have to pay 1 more cent other than buying the TV to get that game. Now, the one where you actually have to pay to watch it, Miami and Tennessee, that's not the one we're squeezing down to show everybody else. We're squeezing down the one that is readily available to anybody with a TV and an antenna. I don't want to see that. It was like Aaron Judge was coming up to bat in college football, and they kept showing us Aaron Judge. If I want to watch Major League Baseball, I'll watch Major League Baseball. If I want to watch Giants-Packers, I'll watch Giants-Packers. I wanted to watch Miami crap down their leg and give a game to Tennessee. And to make it worse, not only did they squeeze back and show me the stupid game, they squeezed back and show me the team shaking hands. Shaking hands. Shaking hands. Not game action, post-game action, instead of showing my game. Now, it's bad enough the Dolphins sucked the way they sucked at the end, but for me to have to fight through that with ESPN is inexcusable. You pay all that money for the NFL rights just to screw the fans over by doing it that way. Get a clue, ESPN. If somebody wants to watch Giants-Packers, they'll watch Giants-Packers.
Did they show Will Levis shaking hands with Tua?
Oh, I turned that off as quick as I could.
Wish we'd have done the game last night, not tomorrow night. We're going to be squeezing so much stuff down tomorrow night.
Anyway, we get that excitement tomorrow night.
You got to tell me it's ridiculous, though.
Well, look, I would just say this. 11 o'clock ESPN, ESPN2 broadcast on college football, you never see that.
Nope.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I didn't notice it. I don't know if because I had it squeezed down,
God,
if I didn't notice it.
The whole second half.
Yeah, I did notice it. It didn't bother me as much because I had multiple TVs going on. Was just pretty much sampling
every time that
anyway.
other game got in the red zone, they would squeeze it down and show me Giants-Packers. And my God, did the Giants-Packers get in the red zone a lot more than I thought they would in that game. But the worst one was showing me, they're showing me in a critical moment in Dolphins-Titans, shaking hands.
Well, Scott Van Pelt had to let us know that game had ended.
Shaking hands.
How else would we have known that the game was over? That box in the corner, when it said 24-22 final, that's not enough, Brown. They got to squeeze it down and show us them shaking hands.
But I really didn't get the dual broadcast anyway. Like, I understand the first Monday night game of the year where you've got it staggered, and you've got an East Coast and then a West Coast start, and you want to have a little doubleheader. That's fine.
First time in history the NFL's ever gone 2 primetime games going on at the same time.
That's what makes Monday Night Football somewhat special is it's standalone.
I didn't love it either. It was fun if you were at mybookie.ag and you had money on both games and you could double box it on YouTube TV. And
it wasn't fun of a bet if you had that under.
And neither one of them was your team. This is the Browns team, so he wants to see his team. But I had both of them up. I was enjoying it. And, I didn't hit my parlay, my little 2-team parlay there. I played the Layman's and both the dogs won. One outright, could have money lined that thing all day long and made a lot of money at mybookie.ag.
It's so funny. I got our man Tommy Firestick text me before the games. He's like, I'm thinking about just playing NFL underdogs money line straight up. And I was like, well, you'd be ballsy to start tonight.
Yeah, you would have been a winner. I think money lines underdog. Somebody was telling me it's yesterday. Underdog money lines of 6.5 or less in the NFL are hitting at 70. I think it was 73% this year. If it's a small line, not a touchdown or more, that the underdogs are hitting like 70% of the time on the money line.
I did not realize. I knew that it was a significant number. I didn't realize it was that. I mean, that's 3 out of 4.
That's 3 out of 4. It's 3 out of 4, LT. That stat was just told to me.
I would have to go back and check that.
It is not true, but it's not a fact until LT checks it out. Much more on that, and Tua at the post-game podium. He's still healthy. and upright. And we'll hear from Tua after I remind you that if you're looking for a place, and broadcasting school too, where you can learn about double boxes and broadcast rights and all that.
Learn not to do it.
Or at the University of Montevallo, montevallo.edu. Broadcasting school, business school, theater department, music department, a lot of great teachers go to the University of Montevallo to get their degrees, and then they go out and change the world. And 23 NCAA Division II fully funded scholarship sports. Schedule an in-person tour and find out more, montevallo.edu. montevallo.edu. Here's losing quarterback Tua Tagovailoa of the Miami Dolphins last night, trying now to prevent what happened last year in December. Here's Tua.
Tua, we've seen some Dolphin teams in the past have a loss like this in December and things kind of snowball. As one of the leaders here, how do you keep that from happening when you have a result like that at the end of the game?
Yeah, I don't think this is the same Dolphins team that everyone thinks about. We got a lot of really good players. We got really good coaches, and it's one loss. It's home this year. It's not like the world ends because we lost this game. We're human. We'll continue to get better from this. This is the NFL. No one's perfect, so that's that.
Yeah, well, we'll see. You get a chance to prove that. You get a chance to prove that.
ESPN doing that post game, they have that keyboard mic.
I mean, you guys end.
Were they doing that Morse code back to me? What?
You guys end the season in Baltimore, right?
No, we end the season home to Buffalo. Next to last weekend is at Baltimore, which now may be for the 1 seed.
No, absolutely.
It
could be for the division and whatever, but Buffalo just in the next 3 weeks has to make up just one game in the standings because they're only 2 back. If they make up one game on the Dolphins in the next 3 weeks, that game will be for the division because Buffalo owns the tiebreaker.
If they win that game, yeah.
That's what I'm saying. That game would be for the division.
Right.
Yeah,
they would own that because they would sweep the season series.
Yeah, we talked about this last night.
2 back now. Need to pick up a game in the next 3 weeks to make that last Week 18 game for the whole shooting match.
The narrative has changed so much on the Dolphins. Now everybody's looking at this team hasn't beaten a team above 500.
Broncos may be the best win.
Yeah, but that was such a shell of what the Broncos are now.
Yeah, I mean, the Broncos, this is a team that can cause a little bit of havoc if they get to the postseason.
When the game was played, I would say the Chargers is the best win. But what the Chargers have become, it's hard to say that. But that was week 1 in L.A., and that was still a good Chargers team.
That's a great point. Sometimes the Broncos are better now than when you played them. The Chargers were better then than they are now. Yeah, absolutely. The other game involved Tommy DeVito and the Giants. Tommy DeVito and the Giants have won 3 straight.
Did you see what Tommy DeVito's brother was wearing?
Let's start with the tailgate. We got some video from the tailgate. Did you see the tailgate? This is the DeVito family tailgate. Look at this food, Brownie. You're a foodie. Look at this. This is Tommy DeVito's.
Hey, not a green to be seen.
Nope.
Look at that food.
Everything's deep fried, isn't it? And then we got some ziti.
And we got sandwiches down here. We got cutlets. That's just. And is that DeVito's brother there?
No. You'll see DeVito's brother.
I thought that was his agent.
That was his agent.
Oh, that's his agent. Okay, so maybe that is his brother.
But look at this. This is the DeVito family. Right. Their tailgate. Man, that is a spread.
It really is.
While Tommy's the QB, man, we're going to throw it out at Giants games.
Boy, he's spending all his game checks on everybody around.
Now go to the agent if you can, Forrester. Still shot of the agent.
There is no
I thought it was his agent.
That is the agent.
That is his agent. They were talking about
That's like a Saturday Night Live spoof with like Christopher Maltasante from the Sopranos.
And they were talking about we are in Jersey, and of course that's his agent, dressed like he's got a deal that Tommy can't refuse.
I mean, my gosh. You want to stereotype a little bit?
You know who I thought it was? I thought it was the guitar player from the Rolling Stones.
Keith Richards?
That guy's a little 60 years younger.
I mean, when Keith Richards, 70 years ago.
When Keith was younger.
Yeah.
But that's what I was like.
No, he does have a little Keith Richards in him. I'll give you that.
I was like, dang, that's AI Keith Richards.
I really want to know who he's on the phone with there.
He's trying.
Two dimes. Put it on the under.
We're going to win this thing. Tommy D's telling me we're going to win this thing. Put all the cutlets on the Giants tonight. The Giants won it. Tommy DeVito, what a story. Did you ever think Tommy DeVito would be in the league?
No.
It's incredible. Some of the guys we watched.
I mean, I thought he was shaky at Syracuse.
You think he'd be on a 3-game win streak?
No, not at all. And this team is actually alive, much like the Titans are alive still in the postseason. Mm-hmm. It's just hard to believe. And, we got good Saquon Barkley outside of the fumble last night. And Nice win for the Giants. Bad loss for Green Bay.
Kevin says, I thought it was Inspector Gadget. Paul says, this is Lynn Sanity all over again. Remember, was it Jeremy Lin?
Jeremy Lin,
with
the Knicks.
When
he got a big deal out of it.
He just started playing.
But Jeremy Lin was straight up going like 25, 30 a night. Yeah. It's not like DeVito's putting up big numbers.
Hunter, Tommy, I'm good to take the Giants tonight. Don't make me pull the trigger twice.
Pull the trigger twice.
So fantastic. I love sports. All right. It's so good. So good.
Wait, is that really his name? Sean Stiletta?
Probably.
Oh, I appreciate you guys letting me rant because I've realized I pent it up last night because my family had gone to bed. I mentioned I had 3 friends over that were Titans fans, so I had to leave the basement and let them finish watching the game up there. I had to go upstairs and watch the end by myself.
Did you throw a club?
What? You're a little LT now?
No, I mean, it was, they were just chatting it up a little bit and having a good time. And, it was frustrating to me.
You left them downstairs?
Absolutely, I did. Yeah, I went and watched the end of the game by myself.
Wow.
What?
You cast a few stones at our boy, the way he reacted watching a Rams game. And now you're doing the same thing?
No, I went upstairs and watched it by myself. I don't know why is that so bad?
No, you basically left so you wouldn't get mad at him. Right?
I left because they weren't taking it as seriously as I was. They were watching. So they were all about man, all I want out of this game is Will Levis to play good so I know he's part of the future and us don't screw up our draft pick.
Yeah.
So as the game's going down to the end, they're just all chatty Cathys and laughing about stuff. Hey, have y'all seen...
They're out of the playoffs.
Have y'all seen Napoleon yet? Yeah, God, it looks good. I'm going to go see Napoleon. They're talking about everything. And I'm watching my team completely melt down. It is miserable. Yeah. And I love them to death. They're all great friends and they are welcome anytime. But I just had to remove myself from the situation and
that is miserable.
Go upstairs and basically stew in my own... pity is what I was doing.
That's why LT doesn't like us around when he's watching the
Rams.
No,
I don't. That's one of the reasons, I know people are going to think that I blew it out an extra night in Floribama. I hate to disappoint, but the fact of the matter was it was a noon kick for the Rams, and I got sandwiched in. It was, do I drive back and risk not making kick, or do I stay put and watch it on YouTube at the condo? So I stayed put, and by the time the game was over, I was like, might as well just stay another night.
Yeah. Hey, listen, a lifetime of James.
I never even walked in the Floribama on Sunday.
Yeah.
One time.
No, one time. A lifetime of James Spann has always taught me to stay in your safe place. And
that's right.
You made the right choice. You got all your Rams.
And that was a frustrating game, too.
That was a tough defeat, too, to the now number 1 seed Ravens in the AFC. 37-31 as the Dolphins go down. That's Monday Night Football. A ton of college stuff to get to. Got a little Taylor Swift note for you later on in the show.
All right.
And the guy who, when we come back, the guy who stole $22 million from the Jacksonville Jaguars, he's got a new job.
Blake Bortles?
Yeah. There's been a lot of them over there. Urban Meyer. No, the Patel guy, who is their financial guy. He's got a new job before he goes to jail, of course. He's got a new job right now, and I'll tell you what that is when we come back. Show being brought to you by 2 great sponsors. One of them are our friends at Odie's, LT.
Odie's Tavern, 2 great locations for you. The newest in Homewood, obviously the original in Crestline. Tomorrow night, it's Odie's Team Trivia. Get there early, enjoy some great food from Rodney Davis. Rocky will be out there. Of course, tomorrow we will be in Huntsville, but just a great place to go for lunch, dinner, live music on Fridays and Saturdays. Birmingham Institution. Get in, see Will Haver and that great staff, Odie's Tavern.
And our friends at Hemphill for all your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs. Trust the name Birmingham's trusted since 1954. It's Hemphill Services. Cooler temperatures out there. Not as cold as the FCS outdoor playoffs are going to be this Friday and Saturday, but it's cool enough where you may want to have that heat kicking right now. You can call them, get that heat checked out, 205-229-2090, or if something's not draining right, flowing right, or heating and cooling right, you call our friends at Hemphill anytime, 205-229-2090, or just remember the name Hemphill.
Everything Alabama, all the time. Subscribe and set alerts at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Support the show and grab some great t-shirts and hoodies right now in the Next Round store. Buy the Alabama State Map shirts in your team's favorite colors, the popular Y'all Can Have the Rest, or Next Round flag shirts are also online now. Just go to nextround.store. That's nextround.store. The traditional Next Round logo shirts are there too. Buy them for yourself, or they make a great gift for someone else. And let us know what you'd like to see in the store coming up. nextround.store. That's nextround.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
This holiday season, give the gift of peace and security to your home with $50 off recurring Wayne's Pest Control services. As the weather cools down, stop mice, bed bugs, and rodents before they come in. Call 866-WAYNES-1 to gift yourself a safe and pest-free home. Sign up for any recurring service with Wayne's and save $50 off. Don't let mice and rats be uninvited guests to your holiday celebrations. Get a pest-free holiday and save $50 off recurring Wayne's Pest Control services when you call 866-WAYNES-1.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Ryan Brown here for the Next Round with a question for you. Are you on the bandwagon yet? Bandwagon wants to invite you to one of their 3 retail locations in Birmingham for all your holiday shopping. Bandwagon has the top brands in sporting goods, athleisure, and lifestyle apparel. You can check your entire family off the list at Bandwagon with brands like Task, Bird Dog, and Varley, plus the best in sports equipment. Visit the Bandwagon locations in Cahaba Heights, Homewood, and Trustville, or online, bandwagonsports.com. Next Round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
Hey, it's why stats are for losers sometimes, especially if you get the stats wrong. LT's doing a little quick work on my numbers. And listen, this becomes real life, too, when it comes to news agencies, things you read on the internet. Don't believe anything you hear or see without checking it out yourself. I misinterpreted a stat that was given to me yesterday where I said that underdog 6.5 or less in the NFL bet the money line because they're hitting 70% of the time. How close was that, Lance?
Well, look, I mean, that was. I mean, I haven't gotten through the whole thing though.
Yeah, but through how many weeks?
Through 4 weeks, it's a disaster.
4 weeks, I'm losing what? Everything?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in debt because that is not a true stat. I went back to the person who told me, and he said, if you're going to bet on an NFL game, underdog that's under a touchdown, go ahead and bet the money line because when it does hit, they usually win the game outright about 70% of the time. So the problem there is picking out which ones are going to cover and go ahead and do the money line.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you stop doing that. Bad stat there. It's probably just safer to go to Lance's.
Do you ever wonder if you listen closely?
Who, me?
Yeah.
I've said for years, Brownie,
Yep.
I am the most honest, open person on this show. I really do believe that. I am self-deprecating because I have a lot of flaws, and I admit my flaws. One of them is
you don't listen.
I don't read well either. I don't listen well. I don't read well. I have comprehension problems.
So what do you do well?
Let's say something positive.
If you don't listen well and you don't hear well, would you ever think about joining the media? Reporting on things?
I think it's why I've succeeded in the media. Nobody listens well and comprehends anything well.
It's really true.
They just paint a really pretty picture.
Yeah.
And that's what I do. Show brought to you by our friends today at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. I can gain weight really well, LT, and I can lose weight really well. Thanks to our friend Leslie.
Where are you today? 183?
No, it's been a rough since Thanksgiving. I've not been on the plan very well. I'm at 189 as I wake up today. It's been they just don't hand out those bushwhackers to anybody.
Yeah, I mean, the good news
Those
is
are not
after Jennifer Parnell called you round.
That's right, yeah.
You said you're going to be in the best shape ever.
Yeah.
And so when does that start?
Probably after we get back from Houston or Pasadena. Yeah. I mean, because you know our plans, LT. We are.
I really don't.
Yes. At some point, I've got to get past tomorrow night before I worry about that.
At some point, we do Christmas, and then at some point, we fly to Las Vegas, where we do 2 nights of shows and everything else you do in Vegas. Then we're in L.A. the 30th, the 31st, the 1st, the 2nd. We're back in Vegas on the 3rd.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that's a lot of time away from our friends at Way to Wellness.
It is, yeah.
No, it is.
Yeah.
And
God knows you can't
let's
exercise.
just say, hypothetically, Alabama beats Michigan.
Then we're going to the barbecue capital of the world, and Brown will take me to every barbecue place in the world.
I've already scouted them.
Where I'll get 2 meats, 2 sides, and some kind of hot-ass pie.
Yeah.
So I can't.
That sounds like a great dessert, Jeff.
I can't.
Oh, gosh. How's your hot-ass pie today? Freshly made.
So I'm happy to be 189. Tickled to death.
So
to
is there a
189.
chance you touch 200 if Bama goes to Houston?
No. Not with our friends at Way to Wellness. They got me on a plan. It spikes and comes back down.
So you're going to pack a bunch of bars?
Oh, no. I'm going to eat a lot of bars between events. Yeah.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If we're going to be on the road for 2 weeks.
No. That's just going to be, we're going to have to do the work on the backside. That's going to be work we can do in 2024 on the other side. Our friends at Way to Wellness can help you. They got a plan for you. Your life's different than mine. I understand it, but just go to Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. That website's aplanforme.com. You just explain to Leslie, like, hey, your work schedule's crazy. Here's where you're having problems. And she'll say, well, listen, do this, and just do the best you can, man, and use our plan here, and it'll help you out. Keep that weight in check, blood pressure, cholesterol, and everything. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living, planforme.com. One big quarterback out of the portal.
Pinkerton's and Rudy's, by the way. That's where we're going in Houston.
Oh, it sounds
you're
good.
Wondering, yep. Unless somebody tells me different.
We've talked about this a couple of times. He visited back there on December the 6th. Riley Leonard is now off to Notre Dame.
Listen, I don't know, like the new rumors, as Scott shows you the announcement from Riley.
Hey, good for Riley.
Yeah, Lance, the new rumors, the rumors used to be what a recruit was getting paid under the table.
Yep.
The new rumors are now what a player is asking for in the transfer portal. And we talked about it with Marvin Harrison Jr., and I saw Shannon Terry, our buddy with On3, tweet, look, I got some knowledge on this. The rumors of $20 million being asked by Marvin Harrison are entirely false.
Well, it was hard to believe.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought the number was that high, honestly.
Maybe it was 14, though. That's still
that's still an amazing
outrageous
number. Yeah.
Maybe it's more he can make in his first 4 years in the NFL. That's crazy.
So I never know, what is true or not. I was told that Auburn had interest in Riley Leonard, as you might imagine, and that the price was just more than Auburn wanted to pay. And that's pure and simple. And it appears Notre Dame is willing to pay right now because Notre Dame's getting some transfers.
They are. Bo Collins, the Clemson receiver yesterday, now Riley Leonard, the Duke quarterback, who is one of the top 2 or 3 guys in the portal. If he is able to play like he did at Duke for Notre Dame, he is a guy that's a dual threat guy that can help that team win some football games.
Yeah, Riley Leonard's a really good football player, and you really didn't get to see it this year because of the injury. But when he's 100% healthy, he's a dual threat guy. He's a guy that a lot of people project will play in the NFL. And I'm just a little surprised. If you've got the money in the collective, why would you not go out and get the right quarterback?
That's exactly right. And
now, who are you saying that about? You're saying that about Auburn?
Yeah.
Because, I mean, there is a budget on this stuff. I don't think Auburn's number is unlimited. And
a good quarterback doesn't win by himself. You need some other
That's
Jimmys
right.
and Joes around him. So if you've got a budget, you got to spread this thing around. But Brownie, you know who was brilliant a couple of weeks ago, and it looked like maybe he was bitching and moaning, but really he was just advertising. It's our buddy Matt Rule. Remember what Matt Rule did a couple of weeks ago? Matt Rule said, listen, I'll just be honest with you guys. Get a good quarterback out of the portal. It's going to take about $1 million, $1.5 million, $2 million.
All right.
Well, if you're paying attention, here's what's going on at Nebraska. Yesterday comes out Dylan Raiola, who is the big 5-star quarterback commitment to Georgia. All of a sudden, guess where he's visiting this weekend? Lincoln, Nebraska, where a lot of people thought he belonged anyway. His uncle is the offensive line coach at Nebraska.
Yeah.
Dominic.
Yep. And then his dad played for Big Red in Nebraska.
I mean, he's about as legacy as you could get.
About as legacy as he can get. And there's a price tag out there now that's illegal. And Dylan Raiola, everyone thinks, is flipping from Georgia to Nebraska. Also visiting this weekend, maybe to sort of bridge the gap between Dylan Raiola getting on campus and getting used to college football for 1 year. How about a little Kyle McCord, who is also visiting Lincoln, Nebraska, now that there's a shingle out there that says, hey, we're going to have to pay $1 million to get a good quarterback out of the portal.
It does sound like our boy Matt Rule has gotten the NIL in line out there, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, I don't know who their big backers are, but we know that they love their football.
Yeah.
Yep.
And what else you going to spend it on out there? I mean,
and by the way, Brown, in the Kyle McCord world, do you know what's being shopped around, apparently, according to those that cover this? A package deal from Ohio State quarterback Kyle McCord and wide receiver Julian Williams of Ohio State. They sort of want to keep playing together, and they may be a package deal wherever they're going. So you can get the old buy one, get one 50% off.
I know people weren't high on
day in Lincoln.
Bonus rack.
Kyle McCord. Not that I need to give him any motivation, but I'd say the same thing about Kyle McCord that I said about Jalen Hurts back in September. You've just gone from Justin Fields and C.J. Stroud to Kyle McCord. So there was a drop-off, but Kyle McCord, I thought, still had a pretty good season.
Yeah, I mean, he was good. He was good. You're right. It was a noticeable drop-off.
Yeah.
And while Jalen Milroe went from where you were talking about to a really good quarterback, I don't know that – I think McCord was almost the same guy all year. Did you see a whole lot of improvement in him?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Bit.
Not as significant.
More so when Travion Henderson came back.
Well, that's going to help anybody. Riley Leonard does – I mean, is that an upgrade over Sam Hartman in your mind?
No.
I think it's
I don't
equal.
think it is.
I think it's equal.
At best equal.
Yeah, they get best equal.
Yeah, but I mean, that's better than where they were going to go, I think.
But you wonder, and this would be the same for Auburn if they do get somebody in the portal, is this going to become a trend for Marcus Freeman? Are you ever going to actually bring in a quarterback and develop that quarterback?
Well, that becomes a tough thing to do nowadays, and it's something that concerns fans. My buddy Jay Orr wants Auburn to recruit a quarterback and develop their quarterback instead of doing this the rotating wheel every year on the free agents. But, but we'll see. I want to get to Mary. She's blown by quickly. And
I
also,
can go back and find it.
This information brought to you by Simpia. No, I got it. I memorized it. It won't be word for word, but Brown, you missed the boat here.
Whoa.
You could be DirecTV and just do what Lance did. Football season, you should be DirecTV and tell them you live in Miami.
Well, I'm DirecTV Stream.
Yeah. You should just tell them you live in Miami.
By the way, I still haven't canceled.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that she got it because you always get it on
That's right.
over
So
the air.
for those that don't know, like the CBS channel in Miami is able to carry that game.
Yeah, and in Nashville.
But they carry.
I think it's her market.
Yeah, they carry the ESPN telecast. So I'm assuming we didn't get it squeezed back there. Is that what you're telling me?
Yeah, I'm pretty
They just
sure.
get a dry feed from ESPN, you think?
I would imagine Okay. Yeah, I don't know, but she's acting like she didn't get all the squeeze back.
I wouldn't think I'd have to do that. I would think if a game's on Monday Night Football, they give me that game that I've turned it on to watch.
Now, it would suck in December when if you got your Miami direct stream going there in the Brown household and they're doing the local weather, and your daughters are like,
Dad, it's 88 today.
It's going to be 82 and sunny.
Yeah,
Dad, can we get outside?
Sure, go ahead, kid.
Hey, the show being brought to you by our friends at Simpio. One more college football thing this segment here. Tell us about Simpio.
Yeah,
LT.
Simpio is going to take care of the BS in every single office. When a business joins Simpio, they take care of the 4 pillars: compliance, HR, payroll, benefits. On average, Simpio is saving all companies of sizes and industries over 18% net of the fees. You can join Simpio any time of year, no annual contract. With that being said, Simpio has a 99% retention rate. Call them today, 205-635-7467 or Simpio.com.
Okay, one more college football thing to talk about, and it involves Notre Dame. Sam Hartman is opting out of the bowl game against Oregon State. And you asked the question last night, why, LT? You said, why would he opt out? And I think it's a great opportunity for Sam Hartman to put something good down on tape, because it's been a while since I've thought about Sam Hartman. I mean, they went away this football season. They were a big story in September and October, but in November and now into December, I haven't thought about Notre Dame football in a long time.
Yeah, to me, it was the quietest team in college football, just based on where the expectations were coming into the season. They end up going 9-3, so it's not a bad year by any means. But now Sam Hartman's got one more opportunity, and this guy obviously loves college football. Guy's been playing it forever. I just don't understand it. I don't necessarily know if he needs any more film.
No, probably not. He's getting drafted, right?
Yeah, he's going to get drafted, but he's probably 3rd, 4th, 5th round. He's definitely not a first-day guy.
But I don't think beating Oregon State's going to change that.
No, he doesn't need any more film. But do you remember the buzz that Bryce Young and Will Anderson got by playing that bowl game last year?
I do.
That they didn't need to play it. They were going to be a top 5 draft pick anyway.
Yeah.
But they were playing it, and it sort of gave them a little momentum into the NFL drafting season. And, I mean, how many times did you hear the analysts go back to that? These guys, they knew they were going to be top 3 picks, and they still played in their bowl games. Good teammates, da-da-da-da-da. Great opportunity for a guy like Sam Hartman, who basically rented Notre Dame for a year to sort of show me a little buy-in with Notre Dame.
Yeah, but it's also a great opportunity to blow out your knee.
It is. It was for Bryce Young and Will Anderson, too.
I mean, I
know. It was a gamble by those guys.
Yeah, I don't know. I think Sam Hartman needs to play in this game.
Why?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't think the only thing, he just seems like a guy that obviously loves the game, and I think somebody's giving him advice to sit out. Because the only thing that can go wrong is something like that.
Yeah, I'm sure somebody is giving advice to sit out. I'm sure somebody said, so let me get this straight. You want to be an NFL quarterback? And he said what?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
You've got one more game left. It is the Sun Bowl in El Paso, Texas against Oregon State. So you've got an NFL career. You tell me what is gained for your NFL career to play in the Sun Bowl.
There's nothing.
Okay, tell me what could be lost.
But this all comes back to what Tesla Talk is saying there. It just makes it look like Notre Dame means nothing to Sam Hartman.
He literally played there 1 year. I don't think it does.
That's what I'm saying.
Tesla Talk is probably right there. This guy is not going to be an early.
Oh, I don't think so either. But he's not going to change that by playing Oregon State. I mean, is there anything he can do in that game to go from the 3rd round to the 1st round? No.
It's a personal decision. I never fault anybody for personal decisions. I'm just saying from a PR standpoint.
Yeah.
Feels like Sam Hartman would benefit playing in this game.
But
playing well.
I do think Daniel's right. I mean, his future is probably contestant on The Bachelor and maybe being
he's a good-looking guy
doing something for ESPN.
I'm just saying. We're just all saying that because of Jesse Palmer.
I'm just saying though. I mean, let's don't pretend that Notre Dame means anything to a guy that played his whole career at Wake Forest and then it was like, I can't win anything at Wake Forest. Where can I go win something? Notre Dame. I didn't win anything at Notre Dame. Why would you think he's got buy-in for Notre Dame?
Well, look, and I've had this point for a long time that I just don't think there's going to be loyalty to programs anymore because guys are going to be jumping around nonstop.
When we come back, Nick Saban is burning up a little jet fuel these days. We'll talk about that and why he was at a certain place yesterday, maybe having to make a hard sell because the quarterback room has changed a little bit in Tuscaloosa over the course of this season. If you're a big Bama or Auburn fan, our friends at the Pants Store want to help you put stuff under the tree this season. Pants Store is your game day headquarters. Alabama and Auburn game day polos, hats, and quarter zips. Choose from famous name brands. You know them: Gentile, Cutter and Buck, Antigua, Elephant Head, Taylor and Mick, all the ladies' gears from rompers to skirts there. You can buy anywhere you're watching and listening to it and get it shipped to you. Pantstore.com. Pantstore.com. Santa says that's easy to do right there. Pantstore.com. Our 6 locations: Auburn, Crestline, Hoover, Huntsville, Leeds, and Tuscaloosa. Pantstore.com. When we come back, the future Heisman list, the odds are out. And where Nick Saban, where in the world was Nick Saban yesterday? It's all coming up next.
Everything Next Round is on demand now in the podcast section at nextroundlive.com.
Give the gift of Daniel Moore art this holiday season with the 2024 Crimson and White Fine Art Calendar. This year's calendar features collectors' most beloved Daniel Moore Alabama football moments, from the classic goal line stand to the Saban-era 2nd and 26. Special offer for listeners only. Buy 2 calendars and get 1 free with code HOLIDAY at danielmooreart.com or by calling 1-800-735-2787.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift of peace of mind with a credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Why risk shopping with cash when you can enjoy the safety and convenience of shopping with their contactless credit card? With a Legacy credit card, you can enjoy incredible perks like rates as low as 8.9% APR, no annual fees, and no balance transfer fees. But that's not all. Earn fantastic rewards for travel and merchandise through Scoreboard Rewards. Apply online today at LegacyCreditUnion.com to make your holiday shopping not just safer, but smarter. APR annual percentage rate. Certain restrictions may apply. Subject to approval. Federally insured by the NCUA.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy all under one roof. It's our friends at HydroLive. Mention Next Round at checkout. Save 20% off any service. HydroLive's got 3 locations, Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone.
There are so many things I love about walk-ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with walk-ons.
Looking for the perfect gift for everyone on your Christmas list? This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store, and I invite you to do your Christmas shopping at the New Balance Birmingham store. Everyone needs new shoes this time of year, and they'll want stylish shoes that fit perfectly. At New Balance Birmingham, you'll find the largest selection and inventory for a specialty shoe store. We have every size from extra wide to extra narrow. Shop the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Hey, holiday parties are going on. I don't know if Taylor sent it out yet, but pay attention to our social media platforms today. She may have already sent it out. It's already out? Yeah. You want to tell everybody what's happening over there?
Well, I mean, Lance, we're giving away Uber basically to an office holiday party. All you got to do is go on our social media at Next Round Live. Just DM. The DMs are open there. Send us a DM, and we'll draw one office that gets Uber from the Christmas party.
I mean, this is pretty awesome. I mean, to decide to ride. You're going to your office party. You're worried about, hey, can I have beer number 3? Well, look, if you got an Uber there, you ain't got to worry about it.
That's right. DecideToRide.com is the details there. A message from our friends at Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, Uber, Adams Beverage, and, of course, here at the Next Round. You can't drive drunk if you don't drive there, and so you make that decision before you even go out at night on how you're going to make it from place to place or back home or wherever you are. So go to DecideToRide.com, DecideToRide.com, and again, for one office party, whether it's happening Thursday night, Friday night, Saturday night, next week, one of you office leaders out there, if you're watching or you've got some contact with somebody who's in charge of your office, go to our social media right now, follow the details, and jump into Taylor's DMs, and maybe we can take care of the ride home, as everyone needs to decide to ride, DecideToRide.com.
Technically, it's the Next Round's DMs.
Figured we'd get more play the other way. Either way, you do it however Taylor would take care of you guys over there. So I saw Nick Saban. There's the details from there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, and I just retweeted it. Next Round just retweeted it. So it's out there on Twitter at one of those places. So you could easily find it. Just shoot the DM, and maybe your office wins. It'd be a great great way to thank your office for a great year of work.
Yeah, you got to be quick, though. We're announcing the winner 12-14 live show. That's Thursday show. So it should be a whole lot of fun right there. Listen. Saw Nick Saban at the Baylor School. I think that's up in Chattanooga.
Yeah, it is. Yep.
Big 5-star linebacker. And then from Chattanooga to San Diego, California. Is that an easy flight, Brownie?
I would say that's a tough one. That's a tough one. But I mean, if you're on the PJ, it's easy.
If you got your own jet.
Yeah.
Nick Saban yesterday with Julian Sayin, 5-star quarterback out in San Diego, California.
Beautiful San Diego.
RTR. There's the Sayin family. And right now, he's still saying Alabama. He's 5-star. Signing day coming up December the 20th. He's been with the Tide a long time.
He has been.
Nick Saban burning up those sky miles, man, flying around. And there's a reason why you probably want to go mention your 5-star quarterback. Maybe go talk to him, sit down with him. And because the quarterback room's changed a little bit, hadn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, because guess who is number one in the betting odds for most people to win the Heisman next year as we go into this offseason?
I would think it is going to be Jalen Milroe.
It is that guy, Jalen Milroe, old number 4 for Alabama. Number 1 on the list there, Quinn Ewers, Dylan Gabriel now in that Oregon uniform, Carson Beck, who LT likes a lot, and old Cammy Ward right there with a question mark.
Yeah, with a question mark.
I love that. He's number 5. Who's he playing for?
We
got no clue.
We don't know yet.
I'm a little surprised Drew Aller's on that list. I mean,
what did he do?
I thought he was average.
Yeah, but he's behind a running back and a wide receiver, Ollie Gordon and Luther Burden. There's Aller, Travion Henderson down there, Jackson Dart way down at 10. Expect Dart back at Ole Miss, but I guess you never know.
Yeah, I would think so.
Lane Kiffin said he told him he's coming back.
Yeah.
Do you guys think the winner for next year Heisman is on that list?
I do. Unfortunately for Jalen, generally the preseason favorite does not win this thing. But I do think of those 10 players, yes, the Heisman winner's on there.
I don't know.
Was Jaden Daniels in the top 10 odds?
I don't know if he was. He probably was. Probably.
Yeah. He finished the season so well last year. I would imagine he was there.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'm sure Bo Nix was in the top 10 odds. Michael Penix probably was, right?
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison?
Yep, probably.
Maserati Marv, as Gus calls.
Yep.
I mean, I think in those 10 players, you could probably find your Heisman winner. Like if I said you take that 10 of the field, you'd go with that 10, wouldn't you? Who's in the field that makes you think? Carson Beck is interesting. Do you think that's at number 4? You've talked about him maybe going to the NFL.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to hang around just because people are talking about lack of reps.
Which may open the door for Dylan Raiola. Says, man, I can go to Lincoln, play right now because I've seen their quarterback.
Yeah.
I don't want to go sit behind Carson Beck. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but Ty Thompson at Oregon, he's in the portal yesterday because he was the guy who was going to be the quarterback. And then they brought in Bo Nix, and he's been the backup for 2 years. And, okay, Bo's graduated, and I've waited.
Time.
Now I'm going to be the quarterback. Yep. Oh, hey, nice to meet you. Are you the new quarterback? I'm Dylan Gabriel. I just arrived on campus.
You know, they brought...
Like Oklahoma's Dylan Gabriel? Yeah.
Yes. Oh, you're here to visit?
Yeah.
Nope.
I'm going to hit the portal.
I'm here to start.
Yeah.
But, you know, the weird thing is they used Thompson in games in critical times last year.
Yep.
This past season.
Yeah.
I mean, they would pull Bo Nix off the field to get Thompson in to get him some snaps. So it's not like they hated the guy.
Not at all.
But, boy, they like Dylan Gabriel obviously more.
One more college football note before we get to the top of the hour. Clay Travis is coming up. Matt Hayes, Saturday Down South, has a little hot seat conversation. I want to tell you about Storm Restoration Roofing. Then we'll get to, he says, 4 obvious coaches in the SEC that are on the hot seat going into next year. I think you guys can name them, and I'll see if you agree with them. But Greg Nelson, Greg from Pell City, Storm Restoration Roofing, he's the best guy in the world when it comes to your roof. Whether you need your roof's gotten old and you need to replace it, whether you've had storm damage, a lot of you have recently with those storms in our viewing area over the weekend, Greg can get out and help you with that storm damage instantly. Secure your home, put a tarp on it, and work through the insurance companies. Trust him. That's another reason I always recommend Greg from Pell City. If you've had storm damage recently, just hit me up in DMs or call the station here, and I will. I'll get you Greg's information. But here it is. If you got a chance to write it down, 205-542-3531. That's his cell phone. Right to Greg from Pell City. Just leave him a message. 205-542-3531. Or you can look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City. Greg from Pell City. Local guy, A+ rated with the Better Business Bureau. You're not going to beat him. Greg from Pell City in Storm Restoration Roofing. Matt Hayes says 4 guys are on the hot seat, obviously going into next year, and Ross nailed all 4 of them there. Do you guys take a shot at naming them? SEC guys, all SEC.
Yeah, I mean, Sam Pittman's got to be on this list.
And Napier's got to be number 1 in the country.
Yeah, Bill
Napier and Pittman are on this list.
I would say that Shane Beamer is on this list.
Shane Beamer's on the list.
Quite a turn for him.
And Clark Lee. So let's talk about each one of these. Clark Lee aside, as Vanderbilt
I heard they've got a lot of people are leaving Vanderbilt, though. In the portal.
The portal has been bad for them. I don't know what's going on there.
All their quarterbacks.
Yeah, everything.
Receiver, everyone's out there.
Yeah, who do you want from a 2-10 team?
Oh, I know.
Yeah. Let's go Shane Beamer first, because you touched on it, Brownie. What a turn from Shane Beamer this time last year. Shane Beamer right now coming off of wins over who?
Tennessee and Clemson to end the year, and a lot of people picking them as a sneaky team in the East. Like, maybe they don't beat Georgia, but I really think this team could finish second in the East, and they had a very disappointing year. I mean, there's no two ways about it.
Seems to be too quick for Shane Beamer to be on the hot seat.
Probably a little too quick. I mean, he won 3 of 4 to end the season. But the problem is there was a 5 of 6 they lost in the middle of the season.
Yep.
And, dropping from, 8 wins last year to 5 wins this year was a disappointing year. And you got an experienced quarterback in Spencer Rattler. Rattler looked really good numbers-wise coming out, but just not a good season.
They've lost a couple of good players in the portal as well. At least Juice Wells is in there and some others.
And Spencer Rattler's going to the NFL,
He
so
is.
you're starting over at quarterback, and Rattler was actually very good for them.
Yeah, so that that's interesting. Sam Pittman is one that he had moments. I mean, he's had moments at Arkansas that felt good, including wins over Texas, and but this was a horrible year. And some people were surprised he's even getting another year.
Well, his AD came out and gave him the vote of confidence, saying he would be back the next year, and then his team goes out, albeit losing KJ Jefferson. You got to at least point that out. And they got scalded by Missouri after he got the vote of confidence. So I think once all that's added up, Lance, it is clearly do or die for Sam Pittman.
Yeah, I mean, look, outside of out-of-conference wins to start the season against Western Carolina and Kent State, I mean, they were awful.
Yeah.
They had the win. They had one Power 5 win this year, and it was against Florida.
I mean,
and then that gets you to Billy Napier.
Well, and real quick, I was just going to say Sam Pittman is at Oklahoma State early in the year and then plays your standard SEC schedule. He does avoid Alabama and Georgia, but he does get Texas and LSU. So it's,
out of the fire into the frying pan.
I mean, there's just no good options there, right?
Yeah, that's the SEC. Billy Napier's there, back-to-back 5 and 7 seasons. He's got a top 5 recruiting class, at least top 10. Is that some are starting to leak away from him. I don't know if Billy Napier's the guy. Sometimes they look good on the field, and sometimes they look poorly coached.
Well, the only 2 big wins he's had are in the month of September to start his career at Florida against Utah last year in Gainesville, and then against Tennessee earlier this year in Gainesville. So September wins. Outside of that, I mean, it's not like his teams have gotten better as the season's gone on, and he's currently on a 5-game losing streak to start next season. And who do they open with?
Well, they open with Miami, and we pointed out, now, look, Miami's not exactly killing it, but we pointed out that out of conference is Miami, UCF, and Florida State.
Jeez.
I mean, that is a tough out of conference. They're at Florida State, too. They at least get Miami and UCF at home. And then you mix in your standard SEC schedule, which includes Georgia and LSU and a road game at Texas. He does not have the schedule I would want if I'm fighting for my job.
Yeah.
That is not a favorable fighting for my job schedule.
And he's riding with Graham Mertz again right now. It looks to be the case.
But he's also lost. He's going to lose Ricky Pearsall, who's going to the NFL.
He's lost his best offensive and defensive player.
That's right. And he's lost ETN at running back, who's in the portal. So there were some significant losses from that offense.
Yeah. And defense, the best edge rusher, gone too in the portal.
I don't know how he saves it, but I will say this. At this point last year, we were saying Eli Drinkwitz could coach himself onto the hot seat.
Hey, Odie's.
And he's done the exact opposite.
Yep, he sure has.
Tell us again about our friends at Odie's LT. I will tell you guys, I teased it earlier. The Patel guy who stole $22 million from the Jaguars and is now going through the legal process of that to put a little money in his pocket while he's working. He's driving Uber now in the Jacksonville area.
Wow.
And somebody recognized him, and he said they did some restructuring over at Jacksonville, so I'm driving Uber until I find my next job.
Restructuring.
Wow.
I restructured $22 million into my bank account.
That from the Athletic.
If you're one of these jobs you absolutely hate and your highlight of the day is trying to figure out where you're going to lunch and you're texting a friend back and forth, how about this? You and the friend go to Odie's, one of the 2 locations, get the chili, grilled cheese, ice cold beer bucket full of Bud Light. It's a good way to celebrate an early Tuesday. Live music on Fridays and Saturdays. Wednesday night, we've got Odie's Team Trivia, the Crestline location. Get into Will Haber and that great staff. 2 locations now, one in Homewood, the original in Crestline. It's Odie's Tavern.
Spittin' Lugs with ESPN's Tom Luganville and Lance Taylor weekly at Disrupt the Media on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Are you ready to make this holiday season one to remember? Legacy Credit Union is here to make your dreams come true with their lifestyle loans. Whether you need a little extra cash for gifts or you want to take that unforgettable holiday vacation, Legacy has the right loan for you. With affordable monthly payments, flexible terms, and absolutely no collateral required, Legacy Credit Union is your trusted partner for your stress-free holiday season. Apply in minutes. Go to LegacyCreditUnion.com to get the financial support you need to enjoy the holidays to the fullest. Again, LegacyCreditUnion.com.
Restrictions apply. See credit union for details. Federally insured by the NCUA. The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Hartman's Outdoors is an award-winning landscape company specializing in installing custom fiberglass pools, landscaping, and hardscaping. Jeremy and his team are a one-stop shop for your pool construction needs. Hartman's does it all, from the install to the final hardscapes around the pool and everything in between. It's beautiful work. You can find them on Instagram at Harbins_outdoors to see it for yourself, or call or text Jeremy directly, 205-300-0718. That's 205-300-0718. At Harbins, you and your home are the center of all that they do. Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Tom Luganville here for Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear. For great holiday shopping for the whole family, this place is a must. Jack's carries all the name brands in boots, hats, and apparel, including the Kimes Ranch brand, as seen on Yellowstone. You might not look like Kevin Costner, but you can dress like him. Jack's also has the only Ariat shop within a shop in the state of Alabama. Come see us every Monday through Saturday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and Sundays from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. Just look for the big red building off I-65, exit 304 in Coleman.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Hey, Alabama Power reminding you, boy, this is impacting so many people in our viewing area. Still trying to get their power back on in some places as of last night, but probably all on now. If your power's out, the Alabama Power app can give you a notice of when the power is expected back on. You can also set up payments, usage alerts, and a lot more. Just go to your Apple or Android store and download the Alabama Power app redesigned, or you can go straight to alabamapower.com/mobile app, alabamapower.com/mobile app. And thank you to all the linesmen and lineswomen who get out after these type of storms that we've had, both in Alabama, Tennessee, and up in Kentucky as well, to restore the power. It's God's work, and we appreciate you guys so much. Stay safe out there. Let's talk to Clay Travis.
Clay joins us now, the founder of Outkick on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. I will not make this awkward at all and let Clay bring it up. I'll go ahead and congratulate him on his Titans win last night. Clay, a lot of people were like, I mean, I got so many texts. I'm like, dude, I am a Dolphins fan. That is not even in the top 10 most painful losses of my lifetime.
Well, did I see correctly the Dolphins have not been the number 1 overall seed in the AFC playoffs since 1984?
Yep. You saw that correct. Haven't been to an AFC championship game since 1992, as the 92 season, 93, January of 93, the AFC championship game, which, by the way, is my most painful loss as a Dolphins fan, that AFC championship game.
So the Titans are not very good.
No.
The Will Levis has shown flashes. I think it's still too early to have a strong opinion on him. The offensive line is garbage. Obviously, everybody's very familiar with Derrick Henry and the fact that he's probably the best running back of the last 5 years in the NFL and should be, I would think, a first ballot Hall of Famer whenever his career is over. DeAndre Hopkins obviously is a Hall of Famer too and still has some juice left in the tank. But the Titans are not very good. And so to me, what I found most interesting, and obviously I don't watch every Dolphins game like you do in totality. I watch a ton of NFL like many people do. But the Dolphins' offense is very pedestrian when Tyreek Hill is not in there.
Well, there's no doubt.
And,
yeah.
I mean, I would basically be of the opinion that he just needs to get healthy and be able to play at 100% level in the postseason. But look, being the number 1 overall seed is a huge deal, not just for home field, which I think tends to be somewhat overrated. But you only get 1 bye, so that knocks you automatically into the divisional round and means you only have to win 1 home game to host an AFC Championship game. And trust me, I know all this because the Titans have been the number 1 seed 3 times and lost all 3 times in the divisional round of the playoffs when all they had to do was win 1 game to host an AFC Championship at home, which they've never done before. They've played, I think, in 3 AFC Championship games since basically 2000, and all of them have been on the road. But yeah, look, I would have find the last night's performance very ominous if I were a Dolphins fan.
I heard I thought it was an hilarious conversation. Somebody was trying to be serious about Ryan Day and his future at Ohio State, and he said, look, if it doesn't work out, I think Mike Vrabel would take that job. My question to you are, where are Titans fans, their approval rating right now of Vrabel?
I think Vrabel's a really good coach. I think the problem is in the NFL, all that matters is how good is your quarterback. And the Titans with Ryan Tannehill had, somewhere around the 16th or 18th best quarterback in the NFL, and were therefore going to be headed towards extreme mediocrity. They've had a lot of injury issues. They've totally whiffed. I mean, here's a crazy one for you. The last 3 first-round picks for the Tennessee Titans, Isaiah Wilson, who I think only played like 4 snaps ever in the NFL, first-round pick at tackle from Georgia, total bust. Then they went and drafted Caleb Farley, like 11 overall or something, out of Virginia Tech as a corner. And he's basically started like 3 games, and I don't even think he's on the dress roster right now. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. And then they drafted Treylon Burks, and Treylon Burks has been basically worthless as a wide receiver, particularly because that was the pick they used to replace A.J. Brown. So, and replace is in quotation marks. I mean, Treylon Burks, I think, has 1 touchdown catch so far in his career. He hasn't been able to stay healthy. I mean, you guys could pull up his numbers. I mean, they're atrocious. And so that's 3 straight first-round picks. Now, it remains to be seen. The most recent first-round pick is Peter Skronsky on the offensive line. I have no idea how he's doing relative to expectations because I'm not an offensive lineman, and I obviously don't break down film. I know the Titans' offensive line is really bad. But there's a lot of issues there, not just whatever he would be doing. And then we'll see what happens with the Will Levis. I mean, I'll tell you this. If I had to choose right now, would I rather have Bryce Young or Will Levis? I would way rather have Will Levis. And maybe that's somewhat unfair to Bryce Young, but I've watched him play a decent amount, and he looks more like Johnny Manziel than he does Kyler Murray in year 1. And I'm using those guys, obviously, as smaller quarterbacks that get drafted in the first round. And I know Kyler Murray had struggles his first year, and then they went and got Cliff Kingsbury, and he looked better. But Bryce Young looks awful. I mean, I always like to think if you redrafted, C.J. Stroud would clearly go number 1 overall, right? Beyond a shadow of a doubt, based on performance through the first 3 quarters of year 1. I think Will Levis probably would go above Bryce Young. I'm not sure Bryce Young would be a first rounder now that they have all the mail on him, all the film on him from his first year.
Damn, you would take Will Levis over Bryce Young?
That's a bad overreaction.
You're insane. I mean, you talk about an offensive line.
Yeah.
I mean, look at you got DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They
Bryce
got
Young,
nobody to throw to in Carolina.
He does not have a DeAndre Hopkins.
Yeah.
You guys are wearing Bama fan glasses.
He's throwing to Adam Thielen.
I mean, the Carolina Panthers can find 2 better receivers on the Vanderbilt roster than they have.
These are Bama Homer glasses that you guys are reacting with. I will post a poll right now. I will post a poll as soon as I hang up with you guys. Would you rather have right now Will Levis or Bryce Young? And Will Levis will win, and there'll be tens of thousands of people who vote.
Oh, there is no way. We watched these guys for years.
Do it, because it would just prove to me you brainwash all your followers, that you have a brainwashing machine somewhere.
Look, I have been very anti-Will Levis, but he is far better through year one than Bryce Young has been.
No, well, yeah, but, I mean, I think it's circumstances, is it not?
I mean, maybe. I think at some point, if you come in, who was the last really good quarterback? This is a good question for you. To go 1-15 or 1-16 in his rookie year with the team that drafted him.
Probably Peyton Manning, right?
No, they didn't go that bad.
Oh, they were pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, I know Troy Aikman was 1-15.
They were 1 and
Troy
something.
Aikman.
Yeah, Peyton was 1 and something the first year and led the league in interceptions.
Peyton did lead the league in interceptions, but Peyton was we'll have to go.
I'm looking at it right now. So they were 3-13 his first year.
Okay. Yeah.
Troy,
and the
I
next
think
year they went to the playoffs.
Yeah, the next year they were 13-3. He went from 3-13 to 13-3.
Yeah.
Okay. So 3 again wins. I'm saying what you're right. I think LT. I think Troy Aikman year 1.
0-11.
What they do?
0-11 in his starts. He did not start every game, but they were 0-11.
Well, hey, and more so, let me throw this out. Jared Goff, because I brought him up earlier, because we were talking about how it's worked out for the Rams and the Lions. Jared Goff was 0-7, and he was awful his rookie season. The very next year, 11-5.
Yeah, they went. I mean, that's the Jeff Fisher hire, right?
Well, that was when Jeff Fisher was his, he was the guy that drafted him, and he got blown out in the middle of the season, and then Sean McVay came in the next season.
Yeah. So anyway, I will post the poll, and I will be. I mean, the other first rounder obviously was. I mean, I don't think you can have a read on Anthony Richardson, and C.J. Stroud would be overwhelmingly. If I said like, hey, here are the top 4 picks, who would you rather have right now? I think number 1 would be C.J. Stroud. Like almost 100% of sports fans would say C.J. Stroud, which is valid based on the way.
And I don't disagree with you at all there, C.J. Stroud. Yes.
Okay. Second would be Will Levis.
No. But if it doesn't turn out that way, I guess you would try to overthrow the election, right? It's a joke. It's a joke.
I mean, Dunaway. I mean, what is Dunaway going to be like? Who's the angry girl in the vagina hat? Like screaming. If Trump wins in 11 months, am I going to see Dunaway on the show in a vagina hat?
That's every day.
That would be a great. Yeah. We will do that. That would be great. That'll be great.
Yeah, that would be.
That'd be great social media.
By the way, just the housekeeping here. Not to brag, you guys.
We have to drag this stuff out of you. So go ahead. Yeah.
I hate to brag or draw attention to myself, but this is the last time you'll be able to talk to me this year because I leave Friday for Australia for the next 3 weeks. So
wow. What for?
I will be down under. I just always wanted to go, and my kids are getting older, and I know 24 is going to be absolutely insane. And so I figured this is maybe the last time. I've got a sophomore who will soon be a junior, and at their ages, Christmas is like the only time where it isn't crazily overloaded with all the extracurricular activities. And obviously, that's such a big trip. I've never been, but everybody, when they take a 16-hour flight or whatever it is to Sydney from L.A., it's not something you do for like 4 or 5 days. So you have to do it at least 2 weeks. So we leave Friday and come back. We'll watch the college football playoff game somewhere in Australia, and then be back. I think the 4th or the 5th.
That's what I was going to ask. For that long of a flight, how long do you stay down there? So you're telling me it's got to be at least 2 weeks to make it worth the travel.
That's what everybody says. I mean, we take off, to put it into perspective, we take off on Friday and land Sunday afternoon in Australia.
Wow. Boy, that is a long-ass flight.
It really does.
A couple of things. Are the grandparents pissed off they're not going to be able to spend Christmas with the kids? And have you figured out what you will do on a flight for 24 hours?
So the flight is actually the grandparents are okay because we took them to Key West the last year, and actually Laura's dad and stepmom are going to be in Australia at the same time as us. We talked. One of the reasons we started talking about it. So we'll be with 1/4, I guess, of the grandparent contingent in Australia. The flight we have the lay down beds. So my plan, it's a 16-hour flight from LA to Sydney. My plan is just we take off at 10 p.m. Pacific, which is midnight. So I'm assuming they feed you probably in the first couple of hours. My plan is to read and probably watch one movie, on the screen or whatever, and then I'm thinking I'll sleep 8 or 10 hours. If I can lay down, I don't think I'll have that much difficulty sleeping. We'll see. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm not too worried about about that trip because again, we're taking off basically at midnight Central Time. So I figure by 2 or 3 o'clock my time, I'll be ready to go to sleep pretty easily.
All right, so
Lost, the TV show Lost is about to be on Netflix. I would choose not to watch that on the flight.
Yeah, I need to watch that with my. I didn't know it was about to be on Netflix. I think my 15-year-old would absolutely love that show.
All right, so you think since we won't talk to you between now and then, you think the playoff games will go how? Let's just go ahead and make your picks.
Alabama beats Michigan, and Texas beats Washington, and I think we'll have an Alabama-Texas national championship game.
Yeah, I think that's what most people think. It feels like people think, and I know the point spread will tell you that it's a wider margin. It feels like people think Texas. It's like whoever wins the Bama game is playing Texas, and
yeah, look, I think there will be 2 different games, right? I think the Texas-Washington game, the winner will have to have 35 or more. I think if you can get to 24, you'd feel pretty good about winning the Alabama-Michigan game.
Yeah. All right, he is Clay Travis. Well, listen, safe travels, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. We'll see you in 2024. I know it's going to be fun.
Yeah, I can't wait. We'll see how it goes. Never been, so if anybody's got great Australia tips, let me know.
Outback, man.
Outback. Yeah, Outback Steakhouse.
Not going to the mess around with crocodiles. So
no, I would not do that. No.
Hey, we did our show from Floribama this past week, and there were a couple of Australians in there early drinking on Friday morning about 10 o'clock, and I was talking to the dude, and I said, man, you live in a country and a continent where everything can kill you. I said, what do you guys worry about the most? And he said, by far, crocodiles.
Yeah, I mean, he says just in towns. They worry about them in neighborhoods.
And I said, have you known anybody that's gone down from a crocodile? And he said, no, but I've got a lot of friends that know people that have been eaten.
Yeah, I mean, and by the way, you know what they would say they're afraid of the most when they come to America? Crime. Because there's no crime in Australia. So you have to worry about getting eaten by crocodiles, but nobody will do anything to you that actually makes you in danger. Here, we're safe from crocodiles in theory, but you never know what might happen.
Well, I didn't realize their crime was that good.
Oh, I mean, it's like, I think that, look at it, you can confirm that I'm right on this, but I think the American crime is 10x what exists in Australia.
Wow.
Well, because it started for such humbling beginnings. It was a penal colony.
That's
right. I mean, they were not renowned as being the greatest humans who initially founded Australia from a European perspective. So they were. You're right, mostly criminals. And now I think America has like a 10-to-1 violent crime rate compared to Australia.
Well, Venezuela's got the highest crime rate, 84%. That seems pretty.
That's significant.
Yeah, that's up there. I'm looking for Australia.
Well,
I'll find it.
Yeah, Clay, thank you, man. Safe travels. Enjoy it.
All right. I'll see you all. Appreciate it.
All right, buddy. Take care. Clay Travis with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline.
Yeah, being brought to you by a couple of great folks as well, including the people that changed the bathroom experience for the Browns and the Taylors.
A-plus Tile Home Remodeling. That is my man, Brad Bell. A-plus Tile Home Remodeling does tremendous work. Scott is showing you a photo, before and after photo. That's the before if you're watching us, of the bathroom and the master bath in our house. That's the way we bought it, and Jennifer and I wanted it a little bit darker, obviously a little updated. So she started scouring the internet to find out who we should use, and she found Brad Bell, and I'm glad she did. He did tremendous work. We gave him our vision. He did it exactly the way we wanted. He didn't try to talk us into any other way of doing it. He actually warned me, too. He was like, you see these one-day bathroom models, you think they would be cheaper. He goes, frequently they're double what I quote, and a lot of times they just come in and slap a shower over the existing shower. Sounds awful. Don't use those fly-by-night, one day. Use Brad Bell, A-plus Towel Home Remodeling. 205-422-1758. That is 205-422-1758. That is Brad's personal cell phone. Just fire him a text, give him a call, and he can help you out. Master Bath and Kitchens, where you get your money back. Master Bath and Kitchen. Brad Bell, A-plus Tile Home Remodeling.
And our friends at Legacy, by the way. I told you earlier about how safe it is to use a Legacy credit card and easy to apply for. You just go to LegacyCreditUnion.com, 8.9% APR, great rates there. No annual fees, no balance transfer fees. APR is the annual percentage rate. Rates and offers subject to change. You need to check the website for details. They've got personal loans as well available for you with affordable payback plans and flexible terms. You can apply online in minutes for that as well. LegacyCreditUnion.com. LegacyCreditUnion.com, federally insured by the NCUA. 4 Downs coming up in the next segment. 1 year ago today, we lost legendary Mississippi State coach Mike Leach. We talked earlier this week about him not being eligible for the College Football Hall of Fame, just missing.
I think it was 4 wins short.
Just missing that. It seems longer to me than just 1 year, 365 days since we lost Mike Leach.
I mean, you got to think we've played an entire season. Obviously, State has hired and fired the coach that replaced him in just that time. I mean, it's hard to think everything that has transpired.
Well, and I just wonder how different their season would have been with Mike Leach. You know, it would have been different.
It would have been very different for Will Rogers, for sure, I believe.
And I mean, Mississippi State 1-7 in conference, 5-7 overall. I would think they're probably 8-4.
Yep.
He's probably the difference in 3 wins.
Yeah, I mean, I could believe that, and feeling a lot better about where their program is now. It's it's a shame. He was a character. He was one of those guys that didn't really care what you thought about him. He was just going to be who he was, and didn't worry about being a cookie cutter head coach. It is a world of robots head coaching. They are a world of robots. They almost never show any personality, but he was willing to do that.
I didn't think he would ever win a championship at Mississippi State, and it's hard to do there. But I thought they would always be pretty good. But I did think that offense had a problem in the SEC with the best of the best defenses, the Alabamas.
My expectation was he would always challenge for 7 or 8 wins there, and he would give you that random 10-win season. I kind of thought that's what you would get out of Mike Leach if he coached there any extended period of time.
New AP basketball poll came out yesterday. Arizona, Kansas, Purdue, who just beat Bama, Houston, and UConn, right there in the top 5. Tennessee's 12, Kentucky's 14, and that's it for the SEC. Those are the only 2 teams. Ole Miss just missing at 27. Beard's got that team playing really well already. Texas A&M's 28. Auburn's 29 after their big win over Indiana. Alabama right now 31 in the voting in the AP poll. We'll talk to Bruce Pearl coming up on the show at 11 o'clock today. You'll get to hear our conversation with Bruce Pearl just after the top of the hour at 11. That's all straight ahead here on the next round. Being brought to you today in part by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. They also bring you Lance's Lock every day on the show.
$69 fall tune-up right now when you call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Hard to stop a train. Call them today, 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Follow Rockstar on Twitter @RockstarBHM.
This hour brought to you by Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear, the perfect place for all your holiday shopping. We are easy to find just off of I-65, exit 304 in Coleman. Just look for the big red building.
IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, and compression therapy, all under one roof. It's our friends at Hydra Live Therapy. IV therapy treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, and boost your immune system, and more. If you mention the next round at checkout, save 20% off any service. You can join the IV League today. Members are rewarded with deep discounts. Make sure you ask about that. Hydra Life Therapy open 7 days a week. Homewood, Tuscaloosa, and coming soon to Greystone.
What would happen if Santa came down your chimney and discovered fire damage in your home? What if he came down the chimney and discovered a wet floor? Santa's elves can't clean it up. You would have a lot of unhappy children Christmas morning. If that happens, contact Dry Tech Water Restoration immediately and make sure your children have a Merry Christmas. DryTech can clean up the mess and get in touch with your insurance company. Call DryTech 205-637-0143 and make sure your holidays are safe and happy. Happy holidays to all from DryTech Water Restoration.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
This holiday season, give yourself the gift of peace of mind with a credit card from Legacy Credit Union. Why risk shopping with cash when you can enjoy the safety and convenience of shopping with their contactless credit card? With a Legacy credit card, you can enjoy incredible perks like rates as low as 8.9% APR, no annual fees, and no balance transfer fees. But that's not all. Earn fantastic rewards for travel and merchandise through Scoreboard Rewards. Apply online today at LegacyCreditUnion.com to make your holiday shopping not just safer, but smarter. APR annual percentage rate. Certain restrictions may apply. Subject to approval. Federally insured by the NCUA.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
The Next Round Golf Cart is here. Your chance to play 4 area golf courses for just $89. Get 18 holes in Cart at Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. A $247 value for just $89. Get your golf cart now at nextround.store.
Samuel is keeping an eye on Clay's poll. He's got Will Levis at 72% right now. Again, unscientific.
Well, I mean, you are going to get a lot of Titans fans in this thing, and I'm not saying it's an absolute slam dunk either way. I'm just saying it's not a slam dunk. You can't say right now you take Will Levis over Bryce Young. If you gave Bryce Young Nuke Hopkins, he'd look a lot different, right?
Yeah, I mean, in the offensive line. And,
I mean, his best weapon is Adam Thielen.
And Spears and Henry behind him, yeah.
Now, Derrick Henry, watching him last night.
He still had a couple of touches.
I'll tell you where Derrick Henry is still really good is short yardage Wildcat. That's going to be hard to stop with a guy Derrick Henry's size. He does not have the explosion he once had. He doesn't hit the big home runs he once hit.
Right.
I mean, he's late in his career. It happens to everybody.
You know, and I don't know. I mean, Bryce is the size is what has always dinged him. But if you put him in the right system, I think Bryce Young's going to be a good quarterback. We'll see. The problem you worry about now is his confidence get completely just blown away.
David Carr.
Yeah.
Is he David Carr?
That has happened.
Oh, gosh, yeah. You ruin you get so much pressure, you ruin your mechanics. That's what happened to David Carr.
Hey, before I tell you again about our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing with those storms in town, remember tomorrow night we're up in Huntsville. If you're at the Von Braun Center, say hi to us. We will be broadcasting the game on ESPN Plus and SEC Network Plus, UNC Asheville and Auburn, right there in the Rocket City Classic. The Huntsville Sports Commission asking us to do that. We're looking forward to it. Now, it's going to be a split-screen Manning cast type thing. We'll be in the building, but we're doing it tomorrow night, and we're excited about it. And we'll see how it all plays out. It's UNC Asheville and Auburn tomorrow night. Bruce Pearl at the top of the hour. We talked to him before the show to meet his schedule needs, and we'll share that with you coming up at the top of the hour. I want to share something else with us. Somebody who was at the Browns house last night sent me this text. Titans fan who went to Browns house to watch the Dolphins-Titans game said, I arrived to a warm welcome, pizza, cake, and refreshing Coca-Cola products, laughs, and well wishes. I left with silence, sheepishness, and guilt.
There should be none of that. I mean, again, I went upstairs to watch the end of the game to allow them to enjoy their time. I didn't want to feel like they couldn't enjoy their time around me.
Yeah, I'll tell you this. I would never, like if first of all, I'm going to watch it by myself. But as a Rams fan, I would never go watch a 49ers or a Seahawks game with a 49ers or Seahawks fan.
Yeah,
that makes
but
no sense to me.
That's a rivalry, though. I mean, Titans-Dolphins is not a rivalry.
okay, I'll pull it back.
Yeah.
I would, if the Rams were playing the Dolphins, I would never come to your house to watch it. Just because I don't feel like I can pull for my team on your turf.
I mean, that's how the show would break. At that point,
No.
right?
And I had no problem with that. It wasn't that they were pulling for the Titans. I'm 100% fine. It was that they were so nonchalant about the game because they were like, oh, God, if we lose this, it's going to hurt our draft pick. I just want to see Will Levis play well. And I'm like, I'm emotionally invested here. We're playing for a 1 seed. So there was just two different attitudes. I didn't want to drag the room down, so I left and went upstairs.
Will you watch with opposing fans again?
It's just so rare.
I don't think you can gain anything by it.
Yeah, it's just so rare that it ever presents itself. I mean, I watch 99.9% of the Dolphins games by myself. My family will occasionally appear in the basement.
Dolphins, Buccaneers Super Bowl this year. We wouldn't watch it together?
I would hope I'm there. If the Dolphins are at the Super Bowl, I'm assuming is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity for me.
If the Dolphins and the Bucs are in the Super Bowl, there's a new Netflix film called Leave the World Behind. It's the end of the world,
Is that
which
looking good?
I saw it.
Oh, you've already watched it?
Yeah.
Is it? You and Luke's going to break it down and spit in Luke's?
I think what is fascinating about it, now which Lunsford was here to talk about it, is I think this is a scenario that actually could end the world.
Oh, really? Is it AI?
He's back tomorrow.
Okay.
So, save it for tomorrow. We'll
cyber attack.
Oh, cyber attack. I do worry about that.
Yeah, I mean, you should.
I think that's where the next world war will happen.
Because, I mean, once
our banking, our electricity grid.
Flights.
Yes, everything.
All of our cars now.
Everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty scary.
I mean, we can't even make it to a show, you and I, without getting hacked.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we've got nothing for them. Nothing for them. Show being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. If you got storm damage this past week and you're still looking for a guy you can trust, we tell you all the time, Greg from Pell City, Greg Nelson. He can help you out right now. All you have to do is call him up, get on his list to come out. He'll throw a tarp on your place. He'll help you. He'll help you so many ways, including with the insurance company. He's done this so many times in his career. He is fantastic. 205-542-3531, 205-542-3531, or you can look him up on Facebook, Greg from Pell City. If you don't get that number, hit me up, and I'll pass it along to you. He's fantastic, A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau, locally owned for over 20 years, and the insurance company guys trust him, and that helps you out a lot. 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing. Before we do four downs, just a couple of questions here. Michigan, Alabama getting ready for the national semifinal game. Want to give you a little snippet of that. We'll really crank up the coverage on the road to Pasadena next week. But team's back practicing Saturday. Tyler Booker on the show yesterday. You can go listen to our conversation with Tyler, Jalen, and Terrion coming up a little bit later this week in their normal slots. Better shot that Alabama's quarterback or a running back leads the Tide in rushing in that game. Better shot that the Alabama quarterback, Jalen Milroe, or one of the running backs?
I'm going to say running backs because this game's going to be way too predictable if Milroe's your leading rusher, I believe.
Oh, if Milroe's your leading rusher, well, I mean, it depends on what that number is.
Yeah, it depends on, right. If it's 37 yards and Michigan's held him to 55 rushing yards, then it's a problem. I think it's ultimately a back, though. I think it's probably Roy Dell.
But remember, we've had so many people, Brownie, tell us that Alabama's most effective not calling run plays for Milroe, but calling pass plays and letting Milroe decide to run.
Except against LSU, where they called a lot of called runs, and that was his best rush game. Now, that's a different defense. LSU's defense and Michigan's defense are different animals, obviously. The good news is you're going to get healthy at running back, right? I mean, Jace McClellan should be back healthy, Roydell Williams, and then what you got basically in the absence of Jace McClellan in the SEC championship game.
Loved it.
It's your guy, right?
Yeah. Jammy Jam.
Both out of Roydell Williams and Jam Miller. Jam Miller had an excellent game against Georgia.
And that pass out of the backfield.
It was well designed. If you go watch the film, watch what happened there. Tommy Rees schemed a good one up and got him wide open basically on the wheel. I think you feel very confident about Alabama's running backs going into this game with Jace McClellan getting back healthy the way Roydell Williams and Jam Miller played in his absence.
Better shot in this game, Michigan or Alabama having more sacks in this contest?
I would say Alabama because McCarthy is less mobile.
But see, like Alabama, their offensive line played a great game against Georgia.
Yeah.
Who is, I think, a team that looks a lot like Michigan. Georgia and Michigan does. and Alabama still gave up 4 sacks. In
Yeah,
that
but
game.
I'm just saying Milroe's going to get you out of more sacks than McCarthy is.
See, I feel like he still at times wants that big play and will
He
hold
does.
on to that
Yep.
ball a long time. And then take the sack and then come back and hit a big play the next play and bail you out.
Yeah, I would lean Alabama, but McCarthy, again, is a lot more athletic than people give him credit for.
He is, but he's not Jalen Milroe.
And he's going to be healthy.
Should be.
He was banged up. He's going to be healthy for this game. Last one. Better shot at having fewer penalties in this game, Michigan or Alabama?
I will say Michigan. Alabama, even in wins, seems to a lot of times have 7, 8, 9 penalties.
No.
Michigan just doesn't commit penalties.
It's so fascinating to watch when you get to these playoff games because SEC officials, and I'll say this as an Alabama guy, I think Georgia fans would agree. A lot of the teams that win in the SEC would agree with this, and I think the teams that lose in the SEC complain about this. I believe in the SEC, they understand that they let you play a little bit when it comes, to defensive pass interference. They let you get a little handsy back there, but more importantly, they don't call a lot of holding in the SEC. It's got to be egregious to call holds.
And I don't know which conference will do this game. I am assuming, based on Michigan's schedule, they have not played a game this year that didn't have Big Ten officials.
Yeah.
Because their out-of-conference sucked, and it was all at home.
That's right.
So they had Big Ten officials for that game, and then everything else was in the Big Ten.
All we know is it will not be Big Ten in the SEC. I don't know if they've announced who it's going to be yet. Seems like
maybe it's Pac-12. They're already shagging flies.
or it could be the ACC, and they've got a grudge.
I don't know. That's true, yeah.
I could see sense of humor because of the old Pac-12, Big Ten tie-in that Pac-12 officials get it.
Yeah.
Because it is out of the
West
Rose Bowl.
Coast, too, yeah.
But I will say this, with those Big Ten officials, Michigan has only been penalized, best in the nation, less than 3 penalties per game, 2.9, 26 yards per game. To put that in a comparison to Alabama.
Alabama's 56.
Alabama's 56, 5.8 penalties per game and 49 yards per game. So, a pretty good difference there. But there again, it depends on the crew that gets the game. That's all Big Ten officiating for Michigan. Not one game, I would imagine, did they play without Big Ten officials.
Before LT gives us the 4 downs today, I want to tell you about our friends at Wayne's. Holiday season's here. You want to keep those rodents outside as the cold temperatures have arrived. That's one of the things that the great folks at Wayne's can do for you right now. And you can get $50 off reoccurring services with Wayne's as we continue to celebrate 50 years of Wayne's. Wayne's Pest Control. They just don't promise short-term fixes. They promise year-round protection for your home, keeping your family, children, and pets safe. $50 off those reoccurring services. All you have to do is go to callwaynes.com, or call them up, 866-WAYNES-1, 866-WAYNES-1. Have a pest-free holiday with our great friends at Wayne's. And Slice, LT, brings you the 4 downs today.
Yeah, 4 great locations created by the late Jeff Bajaya. I met some dude at Floribama that knew all the Bajayas. Knew nothing about our show, but knew the Bajayas.
That's pretty cool. That?
Yeah.
I like that.
But Jason and Chris, his brothers, continue the legacy. 4 locations, the original in Lakeview, Vestavia, Montevallo, Crestline Park, one coming soon to Homewood in the spring of 2024. Local pizza, local ingredients. For more information, you can go online, check out their incredible product. Go to slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
Better chance of being a starting quarterback in 2024, Will Levis or Tommy DeVito?
Will Levis. I mean, Levis is better than DeVito. And I think he showed you some promise last night. If you're a Titans fan, I think he's a guy that, I mean, he puts his body on the line. I'll give him credit. He does not mind lowering that shoulder. That can be bad in the NFL.
Yeah, he's a physical guy.
He's physical.
What was very likable watching him last night and watching his post-game interaction with his team.
Plays with passion.
And his interview with Laura Rutledge, really enjoyed him. I'd say Will Levis, too. They're going to give him a full year.
Yeah, he's the better quarterback. Yeah. He's a better quarterback than DeVito. I think we're a little too early saying he's definitely better than Bryce Young, but I can tell you he's better than DeVito.
I would say Will Levis.
I thought the Linsanity comment in the chat room earlier was a pretty good comparison of what's going on in New York.
Yeah.
Second down.
Better chance of winning 2 postseason games this year, the Dallas Cowboys or the Texas Longhorns?
I'm going to say the Texas Longhorns.
I think Dallas ends up getting the 1 seed.
Well, if they get the 1 seed,
that makes their 2 games tougher.
Why?
Oh, Dallas?
Yeah.
Dallas?
If they get the 1 seed, it makes their 2 games tougher because they don't play that first round. They get a bye. So
you're saying one of those has to be the NFC Championship
That's
game.
exactly right.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it does come down to whether or not Dallas gets to a Super Bowl or Texas wins a national championship. I think I could see Dallas get to a Super Bowl before Texas wins a national championship. I can't believe people are just penciling Texas in.
They really are. You like Washington. I can tell by the way you talk.
Yeah.
Or you're not ready to
No,
write
I'm not
them
ready,
off.
but yeah, I mean, I just can't believe you're discounting a team that is undefeated right now.
I think Texas is closer to being the best team in the country.
I said that in Florida State, we discounted it.
I think Texas is closer to being the best team in college football than Dallas is to even being the best in their conference. I mean,
do you not believe in Stephen A., who dogs out his Cowboys all the time? He's doing his top 5 right now. He's got the Cowboys number 2.
Yeah, but who's number 1? 49ers. I don't see the Cowboys beating the 49ers.
I need to retract that. I don't think Dallas ends up getting the 1 seed. It'll probably be the 49ers.
But imagine this. If Dallas doesn't get the 1 seed, if they don't even win their division, if Philadelphia turns this thing around, then Dallas plays a wild card. Then you could win wild card division, go to NFC championship without having to win it all.
Yeah, you could.
Third down.
Okay, I got a couple of birthdays for you guys. Bob Barker would have been 100 years old today. Better career, Bob Barker, Bob Costas?
Bob Barker. Bob Costas has been really good, but I think Barker is in discussion for greatest talk show host of all, or game show host of all time. I don't think you would, as much as I respect Bob Costas, put him in the discussion of greatest play-by-play announcer of all time.
Yeah, but he mostly was a studio host for his heyday, and I have a great respect for Bob Costas, and he has a very interesting story. You know, he was the play-by-play voice of the Spirit of St. Louis ABA team that went defunct, of course.
Well, he's also done Olympics. He's done the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
He's done World Series.
I would go.
I think I would lean. I think I would like Bob Barker more, but I think I would lean Bob Costas here.
Haven't I heard that both are sort of jerks?
No. I think Bob Barker's was historically a nice guy, Rockstar.
Haven't heard anything. He's also in the Cars franchise. Bob Cutlass.
That's true.
Yeah.
Bob Costas.
I've actually heard nice things about him. lately.
No, I think you've actually got it opposite. I think both of them were surprisingly nice. Now, Bob Barker had an issue with one of Barker's beauties.
Did Bob Barker ever do Price is Right with Pink Eye? Because Bob Costas
He
did
did.
the Olympics.
You're
with
right
Pink
about
Eye.
that.
Wait, do you think anybody else had an issue with
Barker's beauties?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I'm sure it's probably a running thing.
I mean, he probably walked around the office saying my name's on it. They're Barker's beauties.
You're one of my beauties.
Yeah. That's 4 downs, brought to you by our friends at
Fourth
Slice.
down.
We got
That's
one
3
more.
downs. I thought we were doing 8 downs today. Are we holding those for
Gotta
more?
listen, man. Gotta listen. We just had third down.
Well, the celebrity birthday.
That
which
goes
usually
back to
fourth.
early. Yeah,
That's me. I apologize.
Frank Sinatra would have been 108 today. Ultimately, the better career. Frank Sinatra or
Frank the
Justin
Tank?
Timberlake?
Oh, Justin Timberlake. Frank Sinatra. Regrettably, Frank Sinatra.
I think Timberlake will have the better career.
Yeah, I'm going to lean Sinatra just because Sinatra, his on-screen, much better than what Timberlake has done.
You know, Brown, I was giving you the win because I have long said that Justin Timberlake is just this generation's greatest entertainer. He sings, he writes.
I thought you said Stevie Wonder.
He's a top 5 musical show.
Right.
Justin Timberlake does it all. He acts. He's a good actor.
Yeah.
He's a good on tour, concert, writes songs.
Yeah, but Sinatra did all those things, but better.
He did. I just never thought Sinatra was that great.
I would go Sinatra here.
I was going to go with the fact that Sinatra was such a icon.
Yeah.
Much like Elvis, Sinatra couldn't walk in the room without everybody oohing and awing.
Justin Timberlake far more entertaining than Frank Sinatra. Frank Sinatra just kind of, he was a crooner, and Timberlake's an entertainer. I don't know musically Rockstar who's got the better musical ability.
I think that's what entertainment was back
Well, it
then,
was,
though.
but I mean, I'm just saying from my viewpoint.
I think you are saying things that I used to say, and you made fun of me when I would say this.
I've never made fun of you.
On this show, I had a hard place that Frank Sinatra was overrated.
Right place, right time.
You said right place, right time. That's where I've made fun of you
yeah,
for. Yes.
And I've used Justin Timberlake as an example greater than. And now thought I was playing to the audience of saying Sinatra here.
Yeah. Who's
just
the
not to get into this debate.
Who's the better vocalist?
Oh, it's Justin Timberlake.
Frank Sinatra has the more memorable voice.
He does, but I'm just saying better vocalist.
I mean, it depends on what
Timberlake.
It's Timberlake.
Depends on what you like.
Sinatra would not
this is all subjective.
Sinatra would not get a golden ticket to Hollywood in the old American Idol days.
I believe back in like 2006, 2007, I was saying Timberlake is this generation's Sinatra.
Yeah, okay.
But I think Sinatra had the better overall career, and I kind of agree with what Tyler's saying there. Timberlake already feels like he's fading away.
Yeah, probably so. At some point, Sinatra faded away.
I mean,
he stuck to. He was doing it when he was 80s.
Yeah. No, but he faded away for the current generation of that time, right?
He's got his own Sirius channel.
Yeah,
Timberlake does.
He does.
John Mayer does.
I just don't think, to Brown's point, if you didn't know it was Frank Sinatra, I don't know if he'd get 3 chairs to turn around on The Voice.
Troy said there's not a code between men that shook Timberlake's hands. LOL.
Oh, that is true.
Frank had some important backers.
Yeah, hey, everything about Sinatra was cool as hell. It was cool as hell.
I think Frank probably had to go till he was 80, right?
Yeah.
Just to satisfy some of his friends, if you will.
That is 4 Downs, brought to you by our friends at Slice, and the show being brought to you as well by our friends at HydroLive, LT.
Yeah, HydroLive wants to remind you it is IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. They're open 7 days a week, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. If you can't make it to one location, it's not a big deal. They can send a nurse to you. For more information, go online, hydrolivetherapy.com. You can follow them on Facebook and Instagram at HydroLive Therapy. Make sure you mention Next Round. Very important. Mention Next Round, and you're going to get 20% off any of those great services from our friends at HydroLive.
Riley Leonard's on his way to Notre Dame. That became official today. The portal is still churning. When we come back, a nice honor for our man Terrion. We'll talk about Ohtani's real money that's out there and why it's being done that way. And remember, Bud Light Game Night back in nighttime this Thursday night. We're at Slice Lakeview, back at the Lakeview location of Slice, Thursday night. Looking forward to hanging out with you guys on Bud Light Game Night. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy.
Tyler Watts and Jim Dunaway on All Things Alabama. Watch Talk of Champions at Roll Tide Pods on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
Looking for the perfect gift for everyone on your Christmas list? This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store, and I invite you to do your Christmas shopping at the New Balance Birmingham store. Everyone needs new shoes this time of year, and they'll want stylish shoes that fit perfectly. At New Balance Birmingham, you'll find the largest selection and inventory for a specialty shoe store. We have every size from extra wide to extra narrow. Shop the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
The Next Round Golf Cart is here. Your chance to play 4 area golf courses for just $89. Get 18 holes of golf and cart at Limestone Springs, Cross Creek, The Meadows, and the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. That's a value of $247 for just $89. Or get the Next Round Deluxe Golf Cart for just $119. It gets you all 4 courses with cart, plus an exclusive Next Round Golf t-shirt, koozie, golf tees, and a sticker. There are no restrictions. The cart is good through September 2024. Get your golf cart now at nextround.store. What would happen if Santa came down your chimney and discovered fire damage in your home? What if he came down the chimney and discovered a wet floor? Santa's elves can't clean it up. You would have a lot of unhappy children Christmas morning. If that happens, contact DryTech Water Restoration immediately and make sure your children have a Merry Christmas. DryTech can clean up the mess and get in touch with your insurance company. Call DryTech 205-637-0143 and make sure your holidays are safe and happy. Happy holidays to all from DryTech Water Restoration.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemp Hill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention the Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemp Hill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemp Hill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
MyBookie.ag. I won't bore you with just telling you about how I hit 2 parlays Saturday, one on Sunday, one on Monday.
This is like talking about your fantasy team, by the way, or your golf score.
MyBookie.ag, MyBookie.ag. Tell us about MyBookie, Brownie.
Code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag, and you could get that deposit bonus match. They will match up to $1,000 your initial deposit there at MyBookie.ag when you use code next round. That is the key. Use code next round when you sign on at MyBookie.ag. You could play the college championship games. Lance, I saw yesterday during the show, Alabama, it's down to 1.
I saw
it just keeps dropping, doesn't it?
Tick, tick, tick.
Is it going to be a pick 'em by the game? Or you think Alabama could be favored by kick?
They never let them go out pick 'em anymore, do they?
Yeah. I mean, I could see Alabama a 1.5 point favorite.
Checking right now, it had gotten down to 1. I'm going to check it, Jim. I'm going to check it right here. MyBookie.ag, code next round. When you sign on, back up to 1.5. As Furman says, there's just no support at 1. It always ticks back up to 1.5. Total of 45.5. Oh, Texas favored 4. Total of 64 at MyBookie.ag. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere. MyBookie.ag, code next round for that sign-on bonus match up to $1,000 when you use code next round at MyBookie.ag.
Hey, you, not to say I just throw darts when I'm playing games.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like it at all.
Yeah, because you had the privateers last night, right?
I did. New Orleans Privateers. I got 21.5, and I was like, man, when New Orleans is playing the San Francisco Dons, and I'm getting 21.5, got to put that in a 3-team parlay. With Samford against Alabama A&M and the Penn Quakers against the Howard Bison. It's been fun, man. It's fun.
What a run.
Oh, there it is right there.
Run.
There's the winner.
Oh, look, Scott just so happens to have a screenshot of Jim's winners.
He's so fast.
There's a movie called Lost in America where Albert Brooks and Julie Haggerty cash in all their retirement, and they decide to get an RV and travel across country. Well, first stop happens to be in Las Vegas.
Yeah. How'd that go?
He goes to sleep. She loses all their money first night. This is going to be Maggie coming back home.
Is that when they woke? Is that when they go to for breakfast early in the morning the next morning in that movie? And she has to explain to him that we're out of money.
And their nest egg is gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Was it in a diner when she told him?
And then he went to one of the casino bosses to try to, hey, man, I just need a little sympathy here.
Yeah.
We just started our retirement.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry, buddy. Can't really help you.
Jim and Maggie, you know what they're going to be? They're Will Smith on Pursuit of Happiness sleeping in that train station bathroom, a bus station bathroom. He's having to hold the door closed with his foot.
It's
That's a sad scene.
Gamble responsibly for entertainment only at MyBookie.ag.
No, the worst scene.
I put in $300. I'm only staying with that $300.
Okay,
the worst scene in that movie is when they're running. They can't be late for the bus, and he drops his Captain America, his only toy.
So sad.
I don't know, heartbroken. I'll tell you, I watched a movie though recently called Skin, and it's a true story. It's based on a white supremacist trying to break away from his gang, and how difficult that is to do. And he's got all these tats and stuff. But anyway, there's a scene with his dog that almost killed me. It's a good movie though.
Yeah, I don't know, man. When he drops the toy, it's bad, but as a father, when Will Smith is sleeping in that bathroom and he's having to hold his leg up against the door to keep it closed, and his son's asleep in his arms, well, that one got me there.
It's tough.
That whole movie.
That whole movie's tough.
Well, I've said it before. It's an hour and 57 minutes of sadness, and they finally get happiness for like the final minute or two.
Yeah, spoiler alert. When the credits roll, he's happy.
Yeah. I saw a weird movie the other day. I think it came out in 2014, but it just made it onto my Hulu cycle. Something I watched made this pop up. It was one of the Duplass brothers, the guy that's in the morning show.
Yeah.
And the girl that was in was Zoe on West Wing, and then she was in Bridesmaids, whatever, and not Bridesmaids, but the Tales where only certain people could have babies for the rest of the world.
Oh, Handmaid's Tales? Handmaid's Tales?
I think Elizabeth Moss or something.
Elizabeth Moss is the lead.
So they're married. They're going through problems, and Ted Danson's their psychiatrist and sends them. They're just not working out their problems. Sends them to a resort, a cottage where there's nobody at. And when one of them walks into the guest house, the best version of them is in that guest house. And then when they walk out, the real version is still on the property, right? But you go into the guest house, and in the guest house is the best version of your spouse. So it gets to the point where the Duplass guy understands that this is not reality and is bad for you. She doesn't want to leave. She wants to stay.
She
in
likes
the
the
guest
best
house.
version of
Yeah,
him,
yeah.
huh? Oh, yeah, that's gonna wreck a marriage.
Can't remember the name of it, but it was. It was.
I can't. He watches more movies. He can't remember the name.
Gave me the weirdest feeling. I just go, it was a weird feeling.
I didn't realize that Elizabeth Moss is Scientologist. Big Scientology wacko.
According to Jeff.
I'll go ahead and tell you, Jeff. One thing I don't do, I would not be able to watch movies or TV shows if I looked into the people I'm watching, politics or religious beliefs.
I tell you what, I just did not like her in Mad Men.
Oh, yeah, Peggy.
Yeah, that's it was one of my least favorite characters
Of course
the
you
whole
did.
show. Yeah, I know Dunaway
Loved her. Loved her.
That character
Smoking
was
hot.
awful.
Smoking hot.
Smoking
I'm kidding.
hot.
I'm kidding. Redmond Vodka bringing you part of the show. Redmond Vodka.
Yes, back at the Mad Men, back at the 50s and 60s, had to drink plenty of Redmont vodka to bed down somebody like Elizabeth Moss. Gluten-free, 8 times distilled. It's great stocking stuffer. If you're heading to a holiday party this holiday season, stop into your local package or convenience store. Pick up a bottle. Available in 22 states. It is Redmont vodka.
Okay, Jacobo, did Jim tell us the Taylor Swift news? Here you go. Here's your stat of the day.
Thank God.
She's ruined the Kansas City Chiefs. We do know
Yeah,
that.
really.
Right?
They have not been the same since she showed up.
Rockstar, is this good?
Can't even stay on sides.
The Eras Tour passed $1 billion in the
this
calendar
good?
year.
Is this good?
Is that good?
It's okay. Are the Chiefs winning?
November 17th through November 15th, 4.35 million tickets and $1 billion. They expect the tour, which now is international, to go over $2 billion in the next calendar year. Just tick, tick, tick. Money keeps going up.
Yeah, how long do you do it for? 'Cause she's doing weekends, and she's not doing like this thing where she's just doing like Thursday, Friday, Saturday things.
I don't know.
How long do you do it for if you're just printing money?
I don't know, but she can technically set the record that can never be broken, I guess, if she keeps going for a while.
And you know the way she is, she'll drop a new album next Friday.
Yep.
That's how she is.
Daniel says she instantly donated $1 million to the Tennessee tornado relief.
Yeah, good for her. I mean, I appreciate her doing that. You know, the AFC West is not over. I mean, the Chiefs have owned that division for a very, very long time.
Here come the Broncos.
But here come the Broncos.
Chargers are out.
And
Herbert's hurt.
The problem is the Chiefs have already played the Broncos twice. Now, the Broncos did win one of those games, but I'm just saying they don't control. You would rather, if you're the Broncos trying to catch them, play them again because you control a loss.
Yeah, I don't think the Chiefs have another losable game.
Well, they're at the Patriots, who are awful right now.
10-point favorites there.
They're hosting the Raiders, who are awful right now.
14-point favorite.
They're hosting the Bengals, who are without a starting quarterback, but Browning has played pretty well for them.
But they'll still be close to a double-digit favorite.
And then they're at the Chargers, who don't have a starting quarterback.
On the Bengals, really quick, though. And I hate to say this because I too love Joe Burrow.
Uh-huh.
But could the Bengals offense be a little bit of what we get in San Francisco? They got so much talent at receiver and at running back that maybe you just put somebody else in there and they Brock Purdy this thing up. I mean, there's Jake Browning. And I'm not saying get rid of Burrow, but maybe this Bengals team is going to be okay.
So you're saying with T. Higgins
Burrow
and Jamar Chase that Browning could look
Tyler
like
Boyd.
Yeah, Tyler Boyd.
Yeah, I mean that's a good looking team.
I don't think it's San Francisco like the offensive line's not even close.
No, it's
defense
not.
really isn't either.
You're just saying Browning is Purdy.
Browning may keep this thing going the rest of the season and make him serviceable down the stretch. Keep him in maybe the conversation.
I think he has been outstanding the last 2 weeks. You know,
I'm not saying dump Burrow.
No,
when
I
he's
know
healthy,
that.
he comes back.
Denver. This is a huge game this weekend, or I guess it's.
They play Saturday, I think, don't they?
Yeah, triple header. One Thursday night, triple header Saturday.
Yeah, so Saturday night at Detroit. Detroit is not playing good right now. If they win that game, they should win out.
Denver?
Yep.
I mean, what a heck of a turnaround for them, huh?
I mean, can you imagine them at 11-6?
Wow.
Yeah.
Especially from where they were.
Oh, they look like a complete disaster. I mean, they started the season 1-4.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
1-5, excuse me. 1-5 to possibly 11-6. That's almost impossible.
Detroit caught a huge break last night with that Giants win because I thought Green Bay could challenge them the way Jordan Love had been playing.
Yes.
Now, I'm not sure Green Bay or Minnesota can catch them now.
May not be enough time with only 4 games remaining. All right, Bruce Pearl in the next segment. Before we get to the top of the hour, the Ohtani money that was announced at $700 million. You know, some of the nuances of that was he was going to get paid $133,000 a minute, or $133 a minute, yeah, $400-something thousand a game. But it turns out that because the Dodgers are in California, he's gone for this unique payment plan where he's going to get $2 million a year from the Dodgers, and then when he leaves, he's going to get paid a lot of money for the 10 years after that.
97% of the contract.
Yeah, $680 million.
And
between 34 and 43. I think this is brilliant.
Some people are saying this is because of California's tax laws.
Yeah, I thought you were taxed on where you earn the money. Now, I guess the way they write this, he's not earning the $680 million. That's not deferred salary. It is a lump sum payment or something.
Somehow, everyone is saying that one of the reasons why they were doing it this way, and there's a little bit of this in Mookie Betts and Freddie Freeman too, is that because the athletic writes it like this is the way the California sports teams are going to have to do it for the foreseeable future to get big free agents.
Yeah.
Well, and also they've got to lower the payroll overall. I mean, the payroll is already massive.
3 of them are making up $1.2 billion, the top, the Mookie, Freddie, and Ohtani.
The Ohtanis don't grow on trees. This guy can make a fortune just in Japan on his endorsements. So I don't know how many guys you're going to get to do this. You're talking about finding a big free agent that is willing to take very little annually, and get a huge lump sum payout on the backside.
But can you imagine? So Ohtani right now is 29, and so he will be 40 when he starts earning this back end money. 97% of this contract, around $680 million. Can you imagine going into your 40s knowing that you've got $680 million waiting? No matter what you do, you could spend all of this money that you're earning right now on endorsements and the $2 million that you will get in salary, and how he's just set up for generations.
Oh yeah.
I mean, he's gonna, as you pointed out, $50 million in endorsement money that he's
That's
expected
the estimate.
to make.
Yeah.
So he's getting, he's got $52 million.
He'll have a nice car.
He will, but you know how life is. I wonder if there's something written in the contract that his kids, friends, whatever, whoever's in his will gets this money if something, if he, dies. Or
is it guaranteed? I don't know if it's guaranteed.
I think it is guaranteed.
Is the whole contract guaranteed?
The whole contract is guaranteed.
Well, then yes.
But starting in 2034,
he's got a good attorney.
$68 million every year all the way through 2043.
Yeah, I would want it locked
contract.
in that whoever your beneficiary is would be able to get the remainder of the contract.
I mean, if it's guaranteed, I don't know why that would be the case.
Freddie Freeman's deal is deferred through 2040. Mookie Betts is deferred through 2044. So this is what all the big stars did there.
I would be curious, too. I don't know the Japanese tax law, obviously. He is is he a United States citizen?
I don't think so.
I don't think
so. So he's a Japanese citizen. I wonder if he has to pay taxes to Japan, even though the money's made in the United States. I don't know how their tax law would work. So it's interesting the loopholes he's jumping through to apparently avoid paying taxes.
Yeah.
Or it's paying as much. He'll pay his income tax, obviously, but state taxes.
Yeah.
And I don't know what he's owed to Japan, if any at all. I don't know how their tax system works there.
Yeah. And if he's ever paid off what his Japanese league team that owned him for a while there. I assume the Dodgers paid that off a long time ago.
Yeah.
They did.
Or,
the
Angels.
Yeah, the Dodgers just reap the benefits of the Angels doing it.
Interesting. It's a lot of money for Ohtani, but those top 3 guys, $1.2 billion worth of contracts that the Dodgers will be paying on forever and ever and ever.
I just wonder how it affects them in the future. Like the Dodgers, 10 years from now, what is the salary cap impact of this?
They immediately need pitching, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm just saying.
They need to get guys healthy.
Yeah.
You're right, though, Brown. If it doesn't go well, this could be an anchor around their neck
Oh,
forever.
my gosh. Yeah, you're on the hook for $680 million.
Forever. All right, top of the hour here. This hour brought to you by our friends at Champy's Chicken, champy'schicken.com, Highway 119 in Alabaster. Bruce Pearl, our conversation with the Auburn basketball coach coming up next. Sterling's a guy that loves a little basketball, but the thing he loves the most, other than America, is
family.
And family.
And friends. My friend Steve Goodman.
Getting drunk.
And trucks.
I was drunk.
It's good Southern fried chicken. He brines it overnight. He cooks it to order. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales, hand-cut chicken fingers. You see all the great food. And that great man right there. That individual is Sterling of Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster. And Brownie, excuse me, LT, as we get to the top of the hour, tell us about Hemp Hill as well.
Again, $69 fall tune-up when you call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Trust the name. Birmingham has trusted since 1954. Hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com.
Follow Scott Forrester on Twitter at ScottForresterTV.
This hour brought to you by Jack's Western and Outdoor Wear, the perfect place for all your holiday shopping. We are easy to find just off of I-65, exit 304 in Coleman. Just look for the big red building.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com. That's nextroundlive.com. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap. Hartman's Outdoors is an award-winning landscape company specializing in installing custom fiberglass pools, landscaping, and hardscaping. Jeremy and his team are a one-stop shop for your pool construction needs. Hartman's does it all, from the install to the final hardscapes around the pool and everything in between. It's beautiful work. You can find them on Instagram at Harbins_outdoors to see it for yourself, or call or text Jeremy directly, 205-300-0718. That's 205-300-0718. At Harbins, you and your home are the center of all that they do. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service. Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round. You've heard me for years talk about our friends at Bromberg's Jewelers, and we welcome you to stop by and see that great customer service at the Mountain Brook and Summit locations. But we'd also love for you to check out their new online shop. They've got plenty to choose from. Great gifts, big and small. Available online, they've got David Yurman, Tudor watches, select diamond and gemstone jewelry, William Henry, seasonal and favorite giftware items, and baby gifts as well. They've even got an online sale section. For more information, Brombergs.com.
Ryan Brown here for the Next Round with a question for you. Are you on the bandwagon yet? Bandwagon wants to invite you to one of their 3 retail locations in Birmingham for all your holiday shopping. Bandwagon has the top brands in sporting goods, athleisure, and lifestyle apparel. You can check your entire family off the list at Bandwagon with brands like Task, Bird Dog, and Varley, plus the best in sports equipment. Visit the Bandwagon locations in Cahaba Heights, Homewood, and Trustville, or online, bandwagonsports.com. Next Round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
UNC Asheville Auburn tomorrow night. Von Braun and Huntsville sold out, but you can try to fight in there if you're a big Auburn fan. With secondary market like our friends at ATIX to get tickets to the game. Huntsville Sports Commission doing a fantastic job. We'll be broadcasting it for the Manning Cast coming up. Alabama in a sweet spot of their schedule too, with big games coming up, including prime time Saturday night against Creighton, who I think is number 8 in the country. That's prime time Fox. Maybe a Gus Johnson game, or is he doing a game Saturday?
I don't know. I can find out.
Yeah, it's Gus does some of that Saturday night, but it's primetime Fox for Bama and Creighton coming up this weekend. And still Arizona on Bama's schedule, right? Arizona's number 1 in the country. That's still to come. So a tough little stretch for Alabama after they hard-fought loss in Toronto against Purdue. So having a little fun with basketball. We're about to talk to Bruce. Show being brought to you today by our friends at Harbins Outdoor. Man, it was one of my favorite things this weekend at the Floribama was getting to spend a little time with Jeremy Hartman.
Yeah, such a good dude, and just does outstanding work. A lot of passion behind his company there. But if you're looking to do something not only in the backyard but installing the pool, Jeremy and his team, one-stop shop for all of your needs. They do it all from the install to the lighting, final hardscapes around the pool, everything in between. It's beautiful work. You can find them on Instagram at Hartman's_outdoors. See it for yourself. Scott's showing some of the beautiful work right there. Just got the backyard done a couple of months ago. Bullet and Chili are absolutely loving it. You can find them on Instagram, again, at Hartman's_outdoors, or call or text Jeremy directly, 205-300-0718. At Hartman's, you and your home are the center of all that they do. Call them today for all of your landscaping needs.
Before we talk to Bruce here and let you hear our conversation with him, Riley Leonard to Notre Dame. That happened as the show was starting today. Last night, Drake May announced he's going to the NFL. No surprise there. And I guess still projected to be 1, 2, 3 in the draft coming up.
Yeah, look, and I've said this before, and I guess it doesn't matter. Like Jared Goff never beat top 25 teams. Pat Mahomes never beat top 25 teams. But I thought North Carolina was going to be better than this. They were 17-9. He was 1-3 against top 25s. And I think he's got tremendous talent, and I don't think there's any way he falls out of the top 5. But I think North Carolina with Drake May kind of underachieved.
And our buddy Terrion Arnold, before Brown sets up Bruce Pearl here, he got a big honor yesterday. Terrion hasn't been making the national All-American teams, mainly because Kool-Aid McKinstry is always there. Well, the AP All-American team came out earlier this week, and look who's at 1 DB. You got Kool-Aid McKinstry on one corner. Cooper DeJean is at 1 for Iowa. But Terrion Arnold is the DB there on that All-American team. So 3 Bama players there in Dallas, Turner, Kool-Aid, and Terrion Arnold. We'll talk to Terrion this week, but how awesome is that?
Yeah, that is really cool. I mean, to have 2 corners, I guess 2 DBs, one the listed corner on the same AP first-team defense, pretty incredible.
I can't remember the last time that's
me neither.
But that's the Associated Press. That's the first team, and Bama's 2 corners are on the list.
I saw earlier today Matt Miller, who does the draft for ESPN, one of the guys that does draft projections for the ESPN, had him as the 11th overall pick.
Yeah, 11th overall for Terrion Arnold. Ahead or behind Kool-Aid?
I think he had him ahead of Kool-Aid.
Yeah, he's going in front of Kool-Aid.
Yeah,
he 1,000% after he tests out. I don't think there's any doubt. And I saw him 13th 2 weeks ago, so he continues to move up the draft boards.
Yeah. All right, so we're counting it down to Pasadena. We're going to be there, but before we start worrying about our trip out west, Brownie, big event happening tomorrow night.
Yeah, so tomorrow night, as Jim said, if you want to try to get in Huntsville, you can get tickets on the secondary market. The game is sold out. It is Auburn at the Von Braun Center playing UNC Asheville. We have been asked to do the game on the SEC Network in a Manning style, so we will be on the call, SEC Network Plus, starting at 6 o'clock for Auburn and UNC Asheville. And earlier today, we discussed that game prior to the show with Auburn head basketball coach Bruce Pearl. Auburn men's basketball coach Bruce Pearl is with us now on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline as he gets ready for the Rocket City Classic against UNC Asheville tomorrow night up in Huntsville. Welcome in, Coach. How are you today?
Great to be with you guys.
Yeah, good to have you. I know you've coached in a Final Four, but I assume us doing one of your games on the SEC Network is the pinnacle of your career, right?
It'll be the highlight of a long career. This could actually be the end of my career.
Ours too. You never know.
Yeah. You guys are going to have fun tomorrow night.
Oh, we're looking forward to it. We're looking forward to it. And especially if you guys come out there and shoot the 3 like you did this past weekend. My goodness, where'd that come from?
Well, I don't know. We had a ball change, and that may have had something to do with it. I think NBA rims might have had something to do with it, and we're good. We shoot the ball well. Our guys, I think it more give credit to it the opponent, but it was what we do. What every coach does works a lot better when you can spread the floor and when they got to guard you out there on the perimeter.
Well, and you guys share the ball as well as anybody. I think you're 11th in the country right now, over 19 assists per game. And, you go back this past weekend, it's hard to not play great basketball when you have 25 assists and only 3 turnovers.
Man, it was pretty. It was about as pretty a basketball as I can remember. And one of the turnovers was the last second when we didn't take a shot. I should have just. If I knew we were going to break a record, I would have had him heave it. But, I think he did, but they didn't kind of count it as a turnover. I just think it speaks to the unselfishness of our players. It speaks to the way they make each other better and where they do share it. And I think one of my assistant coaches, first of all, Chad Pruitt, and Corey Williams were on the scout. They did a great job. And then my offensive coordinator, Mike Burgermaster, he's got a great offensive mind. And we've been together now for a bunch of years, and we can look at, sometimes about matchups, we get a chance to look at the way a team is going to guard us and what their personnel is. And we just happened to be able to push a lot of right buttons in that game.
Coach Bruce Pearl on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Auburn, UNC, Asheville. It is sold out in Huntsville tomorrow night, 6 o'clock. You can see the game, SEC Network Plus, with us and EG doing a Manning cast style that Coach says could be fun or could be the end of somebody's career. You never want to see Janai Broome only score 2. I know that. But do you kind of like to see the way your team reacts when he does in a game like that? Yeah, it was unusual. I mean, Indiana had 2 dominating post players, and we've got 2 dominating post players also, especially defensively. And they were just letting them play. So as a result of where all that contact was, we made a bit of a decision that, the ball went inside a couple of times to them. They doubled them. They were physical with them. There was a lot of contact. Those aren't as high a percentage looks. So we went to other aspects of our offense. I think the encouraging thing is, Janai has carried us in a few games offensively, and it shows that he doesn't have to carry us.
When you come in with expectations like Holloway did, and McDonald's All-American, and all the great accolades, how do you lead him through such a long season? The process of blending into college athletics. I would imagine there's a little bit of a nuance to that as a head coach. You've done it many times.
It's funny. Offensively, they're all prepared offensively. It's on the defensive end where it's like night and day. The pace is completely different. The physicality is completely different. High school players can rest on the defensive end and perform on the offensive end. The terminology is different. And the responsibility is different. And Aiden has embraced all those things because he came in offensively better than he was defensively. He's a brilliant shooter with great range. He's got a real feel for the game. He's also an incredibly hard worker. And if he's open, he can shoot it. Now, Indiana played him with a coverage that we call drop coverage, where their center is sort of dropped off, and it puts the guards in a tough position to be able to, get around screens. And we got some guys that can shoot it behind those screens. Not everybody does. We do. UNC Asheville is not going to allow him to come off those screens and get clean looks. In fact, they're going to blitz him, and they're going to take the ball out of his hands or zone him and cover till the guard gets back. So he won't have quite the green light. And so, again, when you hear coaches talk about matchups, and I just sort of explained to you a little bit the difference between the way Asheville will guard and the way Indiana will guard, it'll present different opportunities to different players. And so often, the casual fan will look at it and say, well, he didn't have a very good night. Well, it wasn't that he didn't have a very good night. It was the defense gave us this and took away that. It's like in football terms, they put 8 or 9 guys in a box. It's going to be hard to run the ball.
Season's still early. You guys got 3 weeks before you play a conference game, but do you have a feel for this team after 8 games?
I do. I think when we play with great effort and energy and we share it and we shoot it, we got a chance to beat anybody. There are some things that bother us that I'm not going to share with you guys, and the opponents will figure that out. And when they do, they'll go to it and it'll bother us, But look, I'd say right now I'm pleased with where we are. We're down to like 12 in the Ken Palm, and I think part of the reason why our analytics are so good is the quality of the schedule we played on the road, neutral sites, not a lot of home games, and the margins that we've beaten some good teams, not great teams, but good teams. The margin over Indiana of 28, the margin of 25 over Notre Dame, the margin of 17 or so against Virginia Tech or St. Bonaventure. Those margins obviously matter. And then the 2 quad 1 teams that we played, Baylor and, believe it or not, Asheville is a quad 1. App State's a quad 1. Were close losses. So there's some math that have put our team to be in position. We just got to keep on, growing and keep on getting better.
I know one of your passions is Outlive, and you're wearing this year's Outlive shirt. And for those that don't know,
you guys got it right there.
Yeah, it looks great. So for those that don't know the story behind that and what that is all about, here's your commercial for Outlive.
Well, I appreciate it, and I hope you guys will talk about it as well.
Yeah.
Because guys, the last 2 years, we raised $500,000. Just the last 2 years, 1 million overall since we've started the program. But every penny goes to a patient that's battling cancer or their family. It goes to pay for a copay on medication they couldn't afford it without Outlive, a mortgage payment, missed work time. You know, you got to go to chemo and you got to go to radiation and you don't feel well. And you kind of continue to go to work and pay the bills while you're battling cancer. We work with 9 or 10 different agencies and a couple hospitals in Birmingham. And they know who needs the money. And so listen, this t-shirt here, I don't know, 20, 25 bucks, whatever it is, half of that money, whatever all the costs, whatever it is, goes right into Outlive. And so if you had an opportunity, I ask you 3 guys, if you had an opportunity to give 10 or 12 bucks to somebody that couldn't afford to go to their cancer treatment or needed some medicine, you would gladly do it. You would gladly do it. And so what this is, it's also a visible reminder that everybody needs to get checked for different things. Women know what they need to get checked for regarding their cancers. You know, for guys like me, my age, prostate cancer is so very, very prevalent. If you get checked of prostate cancer and diagnose it and get it detected early, you will die of something else. You will outlive your cancer. And so it's a reminder to go get your screenings and go get your checks. And whether it be a blood work, whether it be a mammogram, whether it be a colonoscopy, whatever it is, this shirt is a reminder. It's also a message that you participated. So I'm not kidding you. I don't know how many seats that place holds, but I can't imagine there's anybody there that won't buy a T-shirt and support Outlive to help some family that's going through cancer, either in Huntsville. We also work with people up in Huntsville. We'll keep the money up there as well. So appreciate the information.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Hey, Coach, I know you're not going to look past an opponent like UNC Asheville, but you guys do return home on Sunday to take on USC. And all of a sudden, this ticket has gotten really, really big. Always a tough ticket when you guys play at home. But Bronny James now came off the bench this past weekend against Long Beach State. They're struggling a little bit, but this has become a big ticket.
Yeah, it is a tremendous ticket. Just like the one in Huntsville is, you know, notice I'm going to shift gears and transition. And UNC Asheville. Look, UNC Asheville won the Big South last year. You know, they were like 28-9. You know, they only lost 2 conference games. They've got the player of the year returning. He's an NBA prospect, Kid Pember from Knoxville, actually played at Bearden High School. And, you know, they're not quite as good this year as they were last year, but they're very similar to App State. And look, we played hard against App State. App State beat us. They played better than we did. And so we've obviously got to be excited and ready to play and not look past, you know, this game sandwiched between Indiana and USC.
Listen, we don't do politics on our show, but we do faith. And you're a man of faith, and we see the flag behind you there. I wanted to give you a second before we end here to just share your heart a little bit about Israel and what's going on in your mind. You took the team there a couple of years ago, and it meant a lot to your program and to some of those players we talked to.
Well, Israel does mean a great deal to me, and anybody that spends any time in the Bible, it means a great deal to them as well. It's the country of Jesus's birthplace. It's the country of the father of all religions, Abraham. And to me, religion has become something that has divided us. I'm a basketball coach. I try to find ways to bring us together. Abraham is the father of all nations through his sons Isaac and Ishmael. You know, Jesus is the father of the greatest religion in the world, Christianity. He started it, and his disciples started it. And his position, growing up Jewish his entire life, being a rabbi, and then being the Christian Messiah and the Son of God, those things bring us together instead of making us be apart. And unfortunately, what's going on in Israel, there's only one story to tell. There are not 2 stories to this. If it was true that Israel stole the land, if that was true, then there would be something called a freedom fighter. There is not apartheid. There is not the kind of oppression they talk about. Those are lies, and that is propaganda. In the Middle East, there are virtually no Jews living anywhere in the Middle East, because if they weren't in Israel, the United States, they'd be dead. There were millions of Jews scattered throughout the Middle East and the Arab countries. They can't be there any longer. So they're in Israel right now. In Israel, there are 9 million people. There are 6 million Jews and there are 3 million Arabs. It's the only country in the Middle East like that. So I don't want to hear about apartheid. I don't want to hear about occupation. It's just a lie. And as a result, Israel's for 75 years lived with a portion of their neighbors that want her dead, from the river to the sea. And when we have university presidents that can't even call out the genocide of a certain people, in this case, the Jewish people, we got serious problems. Anti-Semitism is anti-Israel. It's anti-Zionism. And you know what? This terrible, terrible October 7th tragedy that was brought out. The world's seen it. Now it's what Israel's been fighting against since its existence. The day Israel was born in 1948, she was attacked on all sides, just like she was attacked on October 7th. We said never again after the Holocaust, but somehow the world allows 120,000 rockets to sit in southern Lebanon anytime Iran says they want to push the trigger. Guys, that's enough politics. That's enough religion. Israel must be allowed to exist, and it must be allowed to eliminate its enemy if there's any chance for it to continue to exist. And once that happens, go back to Israel. Guys, you won't believe how beautiful it is. You'll be able to celebrate your faith, your Muslim faith, your Christian faith, your Jewish faith in such an amazing way. You'll feel so close and so connected to God when you walk on that holy land.
Yeah, well said. Coach, thank you very much. We will see you in Huntsville tomorrow night.
Okay, guys.
All
War
right.
Eagle.
Bruce Pearl from earlier today, before the show, to fit his schedule, before we all make our trip up tomorrow night in Huntsville for that game with UNC Asheville. Did not want to talk ahead about USC, which will get some national exposure this weekend. Missed it by one game because they had finals this week. So Bronny played Sunday. I think he scored 4.
Yeah, didn't play much, limited minutes. They lose that game. They're 5-4 now. They're not playing good basketball, and they've got a lot of talent.
Little T, yeah, they do. Little T told me, and she's going to be at the game for us this upcoming weekend, Auburn and USC. She told me that 40 NBA scouts, that's more than one per team, by the way, if you're scoring at home, will be there to see some Auburn, but a lot of USC talent. So that team's underachieving right now. Good game tomorrow night in Huntsville, and then back at Neville Arena this weekend for Auburn. That conversation brought to you in part by our friends at JohnstonRVCenter.com.
It was on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Johnston RV Center, I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. It's where you go to find all the great RVs, new as low as $179 a month. They've also got a great selection of previously owned RVs. You can find those there as well. They've been to the Forest River Expo, so they are trying to clear out as much as that previously owned inventory as they can to make room for the new stuff coming for the Forest River Expo. You benefit from that. Go see great prices for yourself. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, always online. JohnstonRVCenter.com.
And this hour brought to you by Champy's on 119 in Alabaster. We tell you about them all the time. Great Southern fried chicken. You can't beat Sterling and the crew right there. Fantastic hand-breaded chicken fingers, hand-cut, Southern fried chicken cooked to order, and the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. And the people that are just got LT's hair flowing at the Floribama when he's down there, man. That bushwhacker in one hand and running your fingers through the hair with the other hand. That's our man, Dr. B.
I get people that reach out about Dr. B all of the time. When I started to go thin, again, I asked around. Dr. Beckenstein is the name everyone mentioned. For more than 20 years, women and men have turned to Dr. B for a range of cosmetic and reconstructive procedures. He will use that experience, his advanced training, and genetic testing to help his patients fully understand the procedures they are considering. Call Dr. B today, 205-319-0316. I do the non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That's all I'm doing. My hair has more than doubled in thickness. T3hair.net or 205-319-0316.
Unlocked with Fox Sports' Brock Heward and Lance Taylor weekly at Disrupt the Media on YouTube and wherever you get your podcasts.
If renting is putting a dent in your bank account, here's your sign from the universe that it's time to buy a new home. And who better to help you through the ins and outs of home buying than our friends at Mortgage Right. With Mortgage Right, you don't have to worry about becoming a short-notice mortgage expert because they do all the heavy lifting for you. They're trusted mortgage professionals, and they'll help you choose the right mortgage option and stand by your side every step of the way. Visit mortgageright.com/TNR to buy before renting runs you dry. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
What would happen if Santa came down your chimney and discovered fire damage in your home? What if he came down the chimney and discovered a wet floor? Santa's elves can't clean it up. You would have a lot of unhappy children Christmas morning. If that happens, contact DryTech Water Restoration immediately and make sure your children have a Merry Christmas. DryTech can clean up the mess and get in touch with your insurance company. Call DryTech 205-637-0143 and make sure your holidays are safe and happy. Happy holidays to all from DryTech Water Restoration.
A legendary coach once said, "It's not the will to win that matters, it's the will to prepare to win." Bryant bankers have the dedication and experience to put together a financial game plan that's right for you. Stop by one of the 7 Central Alabama locations today or give them a call at 1-855-4-BRYANT to begin preparing for your financial future today. You'll find out what unbeatable service and legendary results are all about. Bryant Bank, Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live will share the latest interviews and videos from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and campuses all over the college landscape. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Live Daily Show. Jim, Lance, and Ryan will share their thoughts, and remember, you can always see the old shows on the Next Round Live YouTube channel. Subscribe, like, and don't forget to comment. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. It's Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.
There are so many things I love about walk-ons. Authentic, mouth-watering Louisiana cuisine, prepared fresh, daily from scratch. A great beer selection and TVs everywhere to watch the big game every day of the week. And of course, they've got 2 great locations on Highway 280 and 119 and at Hoover near the Hoover Met. Walk-ons is also a great place for happy hour, 2 to 6 Monday through Friday with $5 moonshine swirls, $5 house pours, and half-price appetizers. And it's an easy take-home experience for the family as well. Highway 280 and Hoover with walk-ons. The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Back with you on the Next Round. Show being brought to you in part today by our friends right there at Michelson Laser Vision. As I take off the glasses, I would tell you I would have almost given anything to be able to have Michelson Laser Vision. What a great guy Dr. Michelson is. It was about 8 years ago I went in hoping that I would get a good review that I could get rid of these glasses forever. But I have a little something that I'm not eligible for laser vision.
Well, I think this shows you the integrity of Dr. Mark Michelson, the first performed LASIK in 1995. Not only did he tell you weren't a candidate, he told Brown he was not a candidate. So a lot of these guys would just be like, hey, we can make this work. Not Dr. Mark Michelson. I was, fortunately, a candidate, got the procedure done. I had the 2200 vision. I was legally blind without the aid of contacts. Now 2015 vision, better than 2020. Make the phone call that I made, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the Next Round sent you. They're going to hook you up with a hassle-free consultation. Still have a couple of weeks to get this procedure done and save big. It's a one-time promotion from the Next Round and Michelson Laser Vision. Call for more information, 205-969-8100 or online, michelsonlaservision.com.
We talked about Dylan Raiola earlier, the big 5-star commitment to Georgia, who is now visiting Nebraska, and he's got family ties there on the coaching staff and at Nebraska. So that may be a big flip coming up. National Signing Day is next week, and a lot of people are closing in. Georgia's got the number 1 recruiting class with 28 commitments, but that could be one that flips. What's happening at Ole Miss is really interesting. They are getting everyone to quote-unquote run it back to get a lot of their stars to come back. That included J.J. Pegues, who today, the big defensive lineman, who I think has a pretty good NFL future. he announces he's coming back today.
What are they running back, though?
10-2 season?
Yeah, that's a pretty good run for them. They'd be in the playoffs next year if they went 10-2 again.
Okay, but I don't understand the run it back.
Quinshawn Judkins is coming back. Jordan Watkins is coming back. Trey Harris is coming back. Micah Pettis is coming back.
They're spending some money.
Jackson Dart may be coming back. You get that money back, you make the playoffs next year. I'm just saying it's a good place to be going to 12.
Yeah. If in fact you do.
If in fact you do. But that's pretty interesting for them. Let's do trash, Rockstar. The big button by that right hand. Hit it, man.
Yesterday was a little self-inflicted where I pried out that front control panel and cut them wires. They was kind of touching each other, shorting out the brain in the boat, and I didn't have no dash work, and I was back there hot wiring live wells, and it was my own fault.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
Hey, let the experts at Mortgage Right help get your financial house in order with locations right here on Birmingham Highway 280. They can offer a variety of loan products, fast and free pre-approvals, and reliable hands assistance that will help you take advantage of all available home buying and refinance options. With Mortgage Right, no middleman. You can trust your files will never leave their office. Take control today. Go online. You can apply mortgageright.com/TNR or call 205-815-9200. NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender. This guy was daring. Taiwanese man facing charges after being caught smuggling live animals in his pants at the Bangkok airport last week.
Yeah.
Authorities discovered
not easy.
3 animals, 2 otters, and 1 prairie dog taped under the traveler's boxer shorts.
Were they alive?
Yes, Brown.
Oh, wow. I was not expecting the updated photo there.
Are they milking?
They appear to be.
They look like udders.
I cannot get milk out of this.
Wait a second.
They're saturated.
They're taped
Yeah.
down to his legs?
Damn, look at that one's claws.
Yeah, this guy is...
Now, going through the international security checkpoint, staff reportedly raised concern about the man's, quote, unusually large package that was moving below his waist, prompting them to notify colleagues operating the X-ray machines. They stopped the passenger, held him for scans, which revealed the live otters teetering under his pants. Officers then pulled the man aside to conduct a strip search, discovered the 2 Asian small-clawed otters and a prairie dog concealed in black socks, taped beneath the man's designer boxer shorts. Who's ever more uncomfortable for, these animals or him?
Oh, it's these animals. I mean, my goodness. They're taped to his body, and some are in socks. I guess, did he put them under at all? Are they,
what is
are they drugged up?
What is the going rate for a prairie dog?
Yeah, I mean, not enough to, tape it to my crotch and fly in an airplane with it.
Yeah, I mean, like right here, this is like, just stand there, sir. I'm going to awkwardly open up the front of your boxers.
Yes, if you could.
From one weird animal story to another, when Jamie Biscella first put an octopus on her face, she said it felt squishy and fun. Now, the Fox Island woman was participating in a Tacoma fishing derby on the first weekend in August and wanted to help her friend get a good picture for the photo contest. She went on to say, quote, "The suckers weren't like strong. They just kind of crept all over my face and my nose and my ears." Then the freshly captured mollusk chomped down. When its beak entered my chin, it was, quote, the most intense pain. It felt like a barbed hook. If I tried to release it off my face, I knew it was going to tear the skin or flesh away.
Yeah, it probably would tear the skin or flesh away.
And it's not a great photo. You didn't get a good photo out of it.
No, not at all.
Looks like a still.
Yep.
Goes on to say, I'm not here to, try to make myself look good because I know I don't. We're human. We all make mistakes. Now, she waited for the creature to loosen its jaws a bit, then quickly hauled it off the face, just narrowly managing to free herself before it could bite again.
I mean, what does octopus eat? I mean, silicon? Because she looks 36D to the left. She looks like 36B to the right. Like it just sucked the air out of the bags.
Stay wild.
Deflated.
Hey, now how about this?
Sprung a leak,
the wound
Rockstar.
is bleeding profusely, but she said she played it cool. I'm a strong-willed woman. I find myself on a boat. I've got 5 guys watching me, so I try not to act like anything major is going on. I grab a towel. As it's bleeding, I just kept it to my face, and we went on fishing with the derby. Now, they kept on fishing through Friday evening and into the next afternoon after being bit by this. She went home on Saturday evening. Here's where it gets worse. When she woke up the next day, her face was completely swollen. The octopus was venomous.
Yes.
Quote, my eyes were swollen. I couldn't see very well out of my left side. My glands were completely swollen. Underneath my chin was a large pus pocket. And then the left side of my face was completely paralyzed. Now, I said she hopped in the shower, cleaned her fishing gear, then headed straight to the hospital.
Cleaned her fishing gear?
There wasn't a second.
I shower my waiters, too.
They said it was the, quote, rarest case they've ever seen. She was the talk of the hospital. Now, she is out of the hospital now and recovering now, taking antibiotics and medications to deal with the venom.
A awkward question about animals.
And finally, Brown, she took the octopus home and ate it.
Yeah, of course.
Cooked it, ate it. She said she's been getting a lot of flack online for doing that.
Yeah. Awkward question about animals. Can I get Scott's mic real quick? You bought your daughter for her birthday. What kind of animal was that I saw on social media, Scott?
They are sugar gliders. We have 2 of them.
Sugar gliders.
Sugar gliders.
What is a sugar glider?
It's basically a flying squirrel.
Yeah, kind of. Well, more like the size of a chipmunk.
Oh.
But yeah, they like to jump.
Okay. It's an interesting birthday gift.
And they're nocturnal. So
there you go.
They make some noise at night.
Wow. So one of my videos popped up yesterday, and dude's with his kids. It looks like he's like in Destin or something, and they've got a little shark on the line, and he's trying to pull it off, and the kid gets really close, and the shark takes his finger off. He goes, I just lost my effing pinky, and you can hear it rip off. But what was he doing putting his hand in a shark's mouth?
You don't do that.
Not the shark. Shark's being a shark.
Yeah, somebody captioned it. That's a shark, not a house cat.
That's right. Yes.
Shark's being a shark there, and this
Doing all he
octopus
knows.
was being an octopus. When Crocodile Dumb D there put it on her face.
The Florida Joker, real name Lawrence Sullivan. Can we see a picture of this guy again?
Oh, wow.
Is that a tattoo? Rockstar, I think my mic's off.
Yeah.
Turn my mic off. There you go.
There we go.
Is that a tattoo?
I would hope so.
Hey, so they showed that movie Skin last night, which I do highly recommend.
I can't
based on a
watch
true
it.
story.
Can't
It
watch
took
it.
over 600 days to get his face tattoos removed, or all his tattoos.
I couldn't watch it.
And they showed some of the procedure and how much pain that must be.
Yeah, it can't be good.
Yeah, I think he's probably going to regret these one day. Anyway, this guy, Lawrence Sullivan, demanding between $1 and $2 million from Rockstar Games after a character that looks similar to him was seen in the Grand Theft Auto 6 trailer. Now, Grand Theft Auto 6 is set in the fictional state of Leonetta, based on Florida. Anyway, and as a result, features all kinds of homages to real-life Floridians that have made headlines over the years. Now, the GTA 6 trailer features many nods to viral videos, notable events, and memes. This includes a character that looks a lot like the Florida Joker. So this is the one to the right is the one that is in the game?
Yeah, Yeah, the one on the right is the one in the game, and the one on the left is the actual guy.
Yeah, I hate to tell him it's a bad choice by him, but the guy on the right looks nothing like him. I mean, you basically you both have tattoos on your face. I mean, that's basically your.
Well, I think his argument is you're obviously taking my look. Like this is obviously a look.
If I'm a jury in Dunaway's America, I'm
not even close.
Yeah.
One's green hair, one's purple.
That's right. Yeah.
One's got Batman.
Anyway,
signal
he
on his
sends
forehead.
out a video that goes viral and talks about Grand Theft Auto. We need to talk. Looks like you've got me in the video. I need a mill or two.
Yeah, you need a mirror because that's not you.
Yeah, I'm going to say no.
You know, apparently it looks so real, though, that on Thanksgiving, I don't know if you guys saw that viral video where somebody showed their grandparents the wreck, somebody getting smoked in Grand Theft Auto. And like
they thought it was video.
Yeah, they told them it was the news, and they were freaking out. It's pretty funny,
dude. You show me stuff every now and then. It spazzes me out.
We already had the story on nearly half the men think they can land a plane safely, right?
Yep,
we did that last week.
Yep, did that Friday at the Floribama, I think.
Yeah,
yep. I think I would melt under the pressure.
I don't think there's any way I could land a plane safely.
Yeah, me either.
No.
Like, I'm not even sure if I sat down and a very cool air traffic controller taught me through it, I could do it.
No, me either.
Okay, you're
Me
going to
either.
want to reach over and flip that switch. Okay.
Yep.
You're going to want to
Because
go and dial that down. Okay.
I can do all of that, Brownie, as he tells me, but at some point I've got to manually stick the landing.
Yeah, I think. I've never landed a plane, but...
Okay, do you think you could get, if parked right now outside with the trailer, a 18-wheeler down to Cracker Barrel?
Oh, no. Not a chance.
I know I couldn't. No way
To
in hell.
Cracker Barrel?
I couldn't either. I couldn't do that either.
Going down this hill, that turf.
Oh, I'd curve the heck out of that thing for sure.
I couldn't do it, but I feel like I have a fighting chance to do that one. I don't know why.
I'm at least on the ground.
Right.
Like, worst thing that's going to happen to me is what? I hit another car.
I'm going to take out some shrubs.
Yeah.
And I feel comfortable I'm going to be safe.
That's right, yeah.
That's right.
Even if I hit another car, it's not
and looking, there is some familiarity with, the
Clutch,
shifting of the
brake,
gears, all
yes.
that.
But I mean, Brett would know this. Brett, the great truck driver, and the others who watch and listen to us. But it's not just one stick, right? Don't they have multiple sticks?
There's multiple things. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, you shift low gear, high gear.
But I think they've even got multiple sticks in there. Like you got to have sticks in both hands when you're driving a truck.
But Jerry Reed did it with a dog on his shoulder.
He did. And the somebody in the Bear. What was that show in the 70s?
BJ and the Bear.
BJ and the Bear. Had a monkey. Was it a monkey?
Yeah, I think it was a chimp.
What if you had to land a plane on an aircraft carrier to save your life? I mean,
looks like my life is not being saved.
Think about that.
I think more so everybody's dying on the aircraft carrier.
Oh, assuming you hit it.
Yeah.
Easier. I mean, you got to hit it. You got to hit it right with the wire.
Can't be low.
Right, and can't be high.
Well, I'm rather high than low.
You can't bounce.
Yeah.
Because even the professionals sometimes have to take off again. They got to be ready to take off again.
Yeah.
Because they missed the wire. And they're professionals. They're the best in the world. That's insane. And their boat's moving and bobbing up and down. I guess they don't bob up and down, big aircraft carrier.
Yeah, I mean, it's moving target, though.
That is Trash, brought to you by our friends at Mortgage Right.
Yeah, Mortgage Right, 205-815-9200. Buying a home, major milestone in life. Getting it right comes down to the right advice at the right time. That's why we're proud to partner with our friends at Mortgage Right, who do mortgages the right way. Call 205-815-9200 or mortgagerite.com/TNR.
Smuff says, play it while listening to Smokey and the Bandit soundtrack. I would pull the ejection handle. That would be how I get out. Bob says, I hit the curbs in a 4Runner. Imagine an 18-wheeler.
I know.
Yeah. Chase says there's a lot of auto semi-trucks now made for the little ladies out there, I'm sure, right?
And me. That's the only one I could drive.
Yeah. Rusty says, I could land one. I do it all the time in GTA. What is GTA?
Grand Theft Auto.
Oh, Grand Theft Auto.
All right, good for him.
All right. Bromberg's this holiday season, LT. Man, I saw where they were cleaning up after that accident and still people in there shopping. What a great customer base they have at Bromberg's.
Yeah, since 1836, family owned and operated. They are your diamond specialists this holiday season. If you're popping the question rolling into the new year, go see them. 2 locations, Mountain Brook at the Summit. Nothing like giving or getting that silver box. You can also go online and shop their array of great holiday selections. Go to brombergs.com.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
It's time to start thinking about employee holiday gifts. Consider getting your hardworking guys a pair of Red Wing boots. Each day, your employees are on the job site helping your company succeed, so reward them with comfort at its best. The Red Wing mobile shoe truck can visit your shop and fit your employees with a great selection of boots. Or Red Wing gift cards can be purchased at your local Red Wing store, available in all amounts. Whichever program you choose, your employees will appreciate the quality service and selection from Red Wing shoes, and they'll also be thankful they have such a great boss. Reward your employees this holiday season with Red Wing shoes.
Looking for the perfect gift for everyone on your Christmas list? This is Wes McClooney, owner of the New Balance Birmingham store, and I invite you to do your Christmas shopping at the New Balance Birmingham store. Everyone needs new shoes this time of year, and they'll want stylish shoes that fit perfectly. At New Balance Birmingham, you'll find the largest selection and inventory for a specialty shoe store. We have every size from extra wide to extra narrow. Shop the New Balance Birmingham store on Highway 280 next to Chick-fil-A.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. On game day, you never have to decide which teams to watch, only what combination of bites, burgers, wings, and more to order. Plus, where else are your favorite draft beers always poured at a frozen 29 degrees? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Stick around after the sun sets. Twin Peaks is open really late. Wind down with bourbon and late night bites. Only at Twin Peaks.
Make sure to start your day at nextroundlive.com. Get caught up on the latest podcasts and videos from the live daily show, plus specialty shows such as the Mystery Fifth Hour. You can also learn more about the whole staff at Double Down Media, find all of our social media feeds, see the latest videos from our YouTube channel and gaming channel, plus find other ways to consume the show like the Next Round mobile app, which you can download direct from the site via your iOS and Android device. Make nextroundlive.com your homepage and stay up to date with everything from us here at the Next Round.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
Hey, as we wrap up the show here, our friends at HydroLive bringing you this last second. Just wonderful people at HydroLive Brownie. We talk all the time about their great locations all over our viewing area. Great place to go in and get rehydrated. As far as IV bags that can get you fired up for a weekend. They
Vitamin
can get
B shots.
Vitamin B shots. They have so much stuff with our friends at HydroLive right there and all their great locations.
HydrolifeTherapy.com to find those locations, by the way.
Do that. Jump in with that. A couple of things that we haven't got to today. I want to clear the plate here. First of all, the Lakers, who won the in-season tournament, they're going to hang a banner there at Staples Center.
They're not.
That's
well, the NBA's making them.
Yeah,
No way. You're lying about that. There's no way they're hanging a banner for that.
They are going to hang a banner. They're going to hang one banner. In the years they win the in-season tournament, they will add a year on that banner. They will not hang multiple banners.
That's so
for
stupid.
everyone.
Yeah.
So there'll be one banner at the Lakers home field, Bitcoin.com, Staple Forum Center.
Dumbest thing I've heard this day.
Yeah, I agree with
They'll have
Lance.
the banner there, in-season tournament champions, and it'll have 2023 on it.
Yeah.
The famous.
That's embarrassing.
It really is embarrassing. I mean, I could understand, like, the Pacers or somebody doing it, but the freaking Lakers?
This day, and this is mind-blowing, on this day in history, only 21 years ago, LeBron James made his national television debut on that ESPN broadcast of Oak Hill Academy, that first game.
I was watching.
Yeah, I was too. They lost. He had a big game. They lost, but that was only 21 years ago. It seems like LeBron has been... It seems like he's been on our TVs a lot longer than 21 years.
And I think he, 21 years ago, a little bit better than Bronny.
A little bit better than
lot
Bronny.
better.
Yeah, I would say that's probably accurate.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Ronald Acuna, for you Braves fans, won the home run derby in Venezuela last night. Nobody stole it from him. Going back to a story earlier, what did you say the crime rate was in Venezuela? 84%?
Yeah, 84%. I checked Australia. It's kind of middle of the pack. Australia's about 44%, by the way.
So that was pretty interesting. And Auburn may be getting another recruit that they really want today. Southern Miss offensive lineman Gerquin Scott visited, loved his visit. He's choosing today Auburn or Ole Miss. And that's him right there. Enjoyed my official visit to Auburn. Will be announcing what school I'll be at in January tomorrow, and he sent that out yesterday. So we'll see. We'll see where he is. Here's the last thing I want to show you today. Do you have? I don't know if I gave it to you or not, Forrester. The last time every SEC team fired their coach. We talked about hot seats earlier. This is fascinating. The whole league now, the greatest league in college football. Mississippi State and Texas A&M did it this year. Auburn did it last year. They were the only team to do it. 2021, LSU, Florida, and Tennessee. 2020, South Carolina and Vandy. Pandemic, right before the pandemic, 2019, Arkansas, Missouri, Ole Miss. Only Georgia, Kentucky, and Alabama, 2015, 2012, and 2006, hasn't done it in this last recruiting cycle.
Well, and they've got 3 coaches that can stay as long as they want.
Yeah. None of those are getting fired anytime soon.
Yeah. Isn't that pretty interesting, though?
That is. When you get on the wrong side of the coaching carousel, man, it is hard to get off of it.
Did all those end in firings there? Nobody left for better jobs, right?
Well, I know State, Texas A&M, Auburn, LSU, Florida, Tennessee. No.
They're all firings.
Those are all firings.
Yeah.
Every one of them. And I wonder how many regret it. Like, you don't know about State and A&M yet. We'll see. Auburn, I don't think there's any regret there. I think everybody's happier with Hugh Freeze than they were with Harsin.
Oh, LSU's tickled, right?
I mean, I would think so. Yeah, I mean, Orgeron won you a national championship, but Brian Kelly has been pretty good there.
Florida was better off with Dan Mullen.
I mean, I don't think Florida has improved their situation any. No.
I mean, Mullen got them to an SEC championship game, and they were legit that year.
Oh, 2020. That was, I mean, that was Alabama's toughest game, maybe.
I mean, Heupel had one good year at Tennessee. We'll see if he can continue that. He's had some good wins there, though, at Tennessee. I think Tennessee fans feel better about him.
Who'd Beamer replace? Muschamp?
Yes. I think that's right.
Probably happy with that.
Yeah.
I had a dream the other night. Now that I bring that up. Will Muschamp replace Nick Saban?
Wow. I mean,
that would be a nightmare for a lot of Bama fans.
That's not what people call a dream, Jim. Yeah. Vandy, I don't know that it matters. Arkansas.
For a while, seemed like it was perfect.
What,
and Bobby
Arkansas?
Petrino's back now. We didn't mention when we were discussing hot seats that Petrino's hitched his wagon to Sam Pittman at least for a year. Almost like he's doing community service there for the wrongs he did to the program.
Well, and you saw who they got in the porter, right?
The kid from Boise State, right?
Taylor Green, and he's KJ Jefferson 2.0.
And we don't know what KJ, he hasn't officially hit the portal yet, but Taylor Green, wasn't he? I mean, Boise State won the Mountain West, didn't he? Wasn't he the MVP of their championship game?
Yeah, he was the Mountain West Freshman of the Year, or Newcomer of the Year just a couple of years ago, and he's an athletic guy. He was good this year, not great.
So just to recap Boise State this year, they fired their head coach, then went and won the conference championship with their interim. And then their quarterback transferred after winning the conference championship.
That's right.
I mean, what a year Boise State has had, man. They squeezed it all into one.
Yeah.
I was looking at this. Was that everything you wanted to clear?
Yeah,
I was looking at this. I thought this was cool. Our buddy Matt Smith, college football blogger, southernpinscan.com, has stopped and compiled the top 8. So basically in the college football playoff era, he did drop 2020, okay, out of this. College football playoff era, the biggest television audience combined. So if you take every game these two teams have played one another, add up their television audience, the biggest one combined. See if you can find a trend here. Number 8, Michigan State, Ohio State, a combined audience of 52.7 million in the college football playoff era. Number 7, Alabama, Tennessee, 53.4 million. Number 6, Alabama, Texas A&M, 57.6 million.
So far, 2 Alabama losses.
No, this is the whole thing, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I mean, they've lost some of those games, but this is every game they have played in the college
so it's not
football.
a specific year. Okay.
No. This is every game.
Not a specific one season.
That's right. This is every game Alabama and A&M have played. Alabama and Tennessee have played.
I'm with you now.
Yeah. Army Navy, 67.2 million is 5th.
Game never disappoints.
Ohio State, Penn State is 4th at 70 million. So here's your top 3. These are the largest combined television audiences through the college football playoff era. I think it's kind of obvious if you think about it.
I could guess 2 of them.
Okay, what would you guess?
I would guess Alabama, LSU, Alabama,
That is number
Auburn.
3. That is number 2. And then the first one's obvious is Michigan, Ohio State.
Michigan,
it's the
Ohio
highest
State.
viewed game of the regular season all year. Alabama, LSU, 86.9 million people in total have watched that. The Iron Bowl, 91 million people. And then Michigan, Ohio State, 124 million people. It's got 35 million people or 33 million people clear of the next closest one. I found that interesting, though, because, Iron Bowl, Alabama, LSU, Alabama, Texas A&M, Alabama, Tennessee spent a lot of time on CBS. That's half of your top 8. Again, that CBS chose to walk away from. It's never made any sense to me, CBS making that choice.
Just because they did not want to
they didn't
want to pay more money. They didn't want to get out of their deal early.
Well, the fracture in the marriage was when Missouri and Texas A&M came to the league. ESPN went to the SEC and was like, all right, our deal is for, this many teams. You've added 2 more. We need to restructure that deal. And the SEC was like, you're right, we do. And then the SEC went to CBS and like, no, bro, we're good. We're not going to do that. And that was the fracture that started it.
The announcement is coming out, tomorrow night while we're doing the basketball game in Huntsville. They're doing the official schedule release. The Mannings, Omaha Productions, and ESPN announcing that they are on October 12th this next year doing a college football Manning cast. And at the same time of that Manning cast, or maybe it'll be back-to-back, I have not seen the start times on this, but Ole Miss and LSU in Florida at Tennessee. And they're going to do a Manning cast during those games on October 12th, 2024.
I would much as I like Klatt, I would rather listen to the Mannings do a game than Gus. Not even close.
I love Gus.
I do love Gus, too. I don't know. Manning cast for college football, I don't know about.
Well, obviously, with their ties to Ole Miss and Tennessee.
Yeah, I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, it would be cool if they were playing each other.
No, honestly, I had them on last night, but I wasn't listening to their broadcast.
They were on one of my screens. I never had the volume up. I just had volume up of the Dolphins game.
And I missed it on Monday Night Football, but they announced 2 games officially. The SEC and ESPN did last night. One of them was Georgia and Texas, and one of them was Alabama and Oklahoma on those dates that we already know.
Yeah,
from an
it had already leaked
ESPN release.
Yeah.
But they announced that officially on Monday Night Football that they would be on. Did they announce they would be on ABC or ESPN primetime? But they announced primetime games for those.
That's why, I mean, to think Alabama's playing Oklahoma right before the Iron Bowl was one of the biggest takeaways for me from those games that leaked out. I mean, that is a tough road trip before the Iron Bowl. When I am so just geared to thinking of Alabama and Auburn both playing throwaway games before the Iron Bowl.
That's right.
To think you're going to Oklahoma?
Yep. And to think, in Norman on that month, I mean, that could be an Alabama snow game. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it'd have to, yeah.
I mean, I
guess it could be in the forecast.
You're into snowy weather at that point. Really interesting. This SEC schedule release that's happening tomorrow night officially. We'll know the dates and times for all of it tomorrow night. All right. So much happening here. Thanks to you guys as we approach the end of 2023. Not only the trip to Pasadena coming up in Vegas, but also tomorrow night in Huntsville, we get the opportunity to do an Auburn basketball game on SEC Network Plus. So more details on that tomorrow. We're back tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central Time here in studio with a live show. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.